I've come across a ton of really strange knockoff consoles over the past year. I mean, we're talking Xbox Series X consoles that fit in the palm of your hand, or even a PS2 that's somehow even smaller than a PS2 Slim, that's not a real console, right? I guess you'll find out in this video where I show you my top 10 knockoff consoles over the past year, and guys, you're in for some good stuff. Number 10. I bought PlayStation consoles from TikTok for way too cheap, and in this video, we're gonna unbox them, test them out, and see if we got scammed. Now here's the thing, TikTok sells some really sketchy stuff. You know, anything from an Xbox Series S that's only $90 to a new Xbox Series X with taped up cords inside. Well, let's see what we get today. Now we'll start with this $50 PSP that's supposed to come with games, but let's see what's inside. All right, I'm pulling it out, and oh my goodness, you've gotta be kidding me. I mean, I guess that looks like a PSP, but it's called video games. All right, let's just dump it out. We've got and our PSP, and oh wow, that actually looks really similar to a PSP. And yeah, I mean, straight up, let's go ahead and start with a comparison to a real PSP. So I have my own personal PSP 2000 down here, and they're actually like, wow, it's the same exact size. It's got the little wrist strap thing down here in the corner. Very similar style D-pad, even has the little analog stick, and the analog stick, wow, actually feels decent. Oh, okay. And then right here are, these look like directional buttons, but they're A, B, X, and Y, which of course they are. And then our triggers on top they look very similar, except these are ultra clicky. And of course, no UMD slot, which is great. I guess there's probably some, wait, what? Things rattling like crazy. Let's go ahead and turn it on and see what happens. Okay, so it finally loaded, and it's just a bunch of random stuff thrown on the screen. Also, the viewing angles are horrible. Look at that. You can't see anything. Useless. Also, this thing is super laggy. Just watch this. It's so bad. Why is it so laggy? And under game, we have built-in game and optional game. What? Oh my goodness. They're just in alphabetical order of just random games across plenty of different systems here. What in the world? 11,000 games. Oh my goodness. And of course, no search functionality whatsoever. So you gotta scroll to find your game. That's absurd. Let's play Bad Dudes for the NES. Because why not? Yeah, that's an NES game. I don't want to play it anymore. All right, go back, please. All right, now what is optional game here? That's such a random description. Aether Fighter NES is the one optional game. Did they just add like one random game to an SD card or something? I don't understand. Then under the e-reader section here, we have telljokes.txt. Good boy, little Robert asked his mother for 2 cents. What did you do with that money I gave you yesterday? I gave it to a poor old woman, he answered. You're a good boy, said the mother proudly. Here are 2 cents more. But why are you so interested in the old woman? She's the one who sells the candy. That could be the worst joke of all time. I mean, I guess the good news is they've gotten all the naming right. Usually these random devices have just names that are spelled wrong and that sort of thing. Let's try to Crash Bash though and see how this runs, or if it runs at all. Also, sorry, it's not Crash Bash, it's Crash Bandicoot. Couldn't tell because I can't see the whole name. Okay, seeing as it's a 2D scroller, I'm assuming this is like a GBA game. All right, so this thing is, I don't know, this thing is crap. 50 bucks, whatever I paid for it, was 40 bucks too much. Let's move on to our next device. All right, so this here was a $34 PS Vita, so yeah, let's see what's inside. Well, it's, the packaging looks almost the same as the last console we just saw, except it's a PS Vita style with red and blue, so it looks like a Switch. What? And again, video games. Let's open it up. All right, so we have an AV cable here, a charging cable that's like 2 inches long. All right, we got this, what is it? Huh? Is this the color I ordered? What? But yeah, it looks like a Vita. Let me pull out a real Vita for comparison. All right, so first thing you notice is the size is, yeah, the real Vita is way larger than this thing, but it has similar aesthetics with the, the curvature part down here. It's got actually 2 analog sticks up here that are very similar to a PSP, and those are, yeah, they're actually analog sticks, and they're way better than they should be for a $34 device, except for the fact that they just spin infinitely. That's interesting. Then on the back, pretty similar as well with our little ovals here on the side where your fingers rest. And in the middle here, I'm not quite sure what's going on. Probably not a touchscreen or a touch pad. I guess let's take this bad boy off here. Oh no. And let's turn her on and see what happens. Wait. There's some debris under the screen down there, which is just super tragic. Yeah, it's not on the screen, it's under the screen. Great. And again, just random crap here. And yeah, but I guess the good news is they actually tell us what kind of systems we have down here. So it looks like PS1, wait, no, that's CPS1 and CPS2. That'd be crazy if it was actually PS2. All right, let's just try something here. We'll start with Game Boy Advance, see if that can run. Sonic the Hedgehog. I mean, it is nice that it's actually sorted here. Sega. Oh my gosh, what is this volume? Also, the triggers on this thing are horrible. You gotta like you can't just hold it like this and press. Like, look how much strength I'm using to press the frickin' triggers. What? Oh man. Let's see what other kind of garbage is on here. We'll try out some MAME games. Super Baseball 2020. Oh, it's just called 2020. I don't think it has anything to do with the year 2020. Or does it? I'm so confused. I don't know, man. Let's just try to play, I guess. Boom. Foul ball. Let's go. Wait, no, that's... What? What is this game? This is not baseball. This is like weird ball. What? I don't know, man. I don't even want to test out the rest of these games. This thing is such garbage. Like, it's fine if you want to like buy a little device for your kids to play with or something. Let's open up this package here, which should have like 3 more devices. Hopefully we got something halfway decent or halfway real, maybe. Okay, and we have, what? Huh? Okay, these actually look more interesting. We have a PMP 4. For a second I thought that was a Pimp 4, but all right. And that's interesting. It's like a PSP, PS Vita hybrid with Mario. Also got the SF3000, Born for Game. This is, I don't know what this is. It's kind of a hybrid of another. It looks very PSP/PS Vita-esque, but actually a little bit different this time. And this one here, we'll, I don't know what it is, but we'll leave it as a surprise for later. Let's go ahead and hop straight into our Pimp 4 here and just open it up, see what's inside. All these things have the exact same packaging with like the little cardboard insert, a random cable that's like 2 inches long. All right, and here's our Pimp 4, and this thing, no way. Is it exactly the same as this? Okay, no, so this is a little bit different, slightly different size, but it has the same really crappy triggers. So like you gotta press it hard, boy. Yeah, we got another little analog stick here that's kind of decent. Start, select. The rest of it looks pretty, wait, hold on. Am I reading that correctly? It says ABCD. ABCD? That's what you chose? ABCD. All right, okay. The back looks, again, very similar to a PS Vita, and we also have a battery slot here. Yeah, there's a rechargeable battery, and it's, of course, bloating a little bit. Nice, I love it. That's just awesome. Let's turn it on, see what happens on our Pimp 4. 32-bit game. Let's go. Wait, no way. It's got like a, it's got like a PSP interface here. Dude, that's actually sick. Let's go. We got game here with arcade, U-disc, SD card. You got music. Media lib update, you got video, picture, ebook, pretty responsive as well. File manager, settings. Oh, dude, this is actually awesome. Also, oh my gosh, this thing's making a very high-pitched static noise. If you can hear that, you have decent ears. If you can't hear that, then go get your hearing checked. What's on our U-disc here? Okay, just more random games. 501. Oh, awesome. Also SD card 0NI. Nice. Any music here? I will never let you down. .mp3. Sure. Why though? It's just random pop music from like the 2000s. That's the. All right. Very random. Got any videos? Oh, what just happened? Wait, we got Need for Speed on here? Yep, definitely just a Need for Speed trailer. That's random, but I don't know. Kind of cool, I guess. Oh, we also got different themes here. Yo, let's go. What we got? Theme 2. Ooh, that's not very PSP-esque, but all right. Let's go ahead and play some more games here, see how they run. My favorite game, Nuts and Milk. Let's play. I don't know how to play, but the controls are pretty laggy. All right, that's kind of how you expect, just a random like NES game. All right, let's go ahead and move on to our next device here, which is our SF3000 Born for Game, boy. And oh, we actually got a foam piece here. Yo, that's fancy. Okay, not sure how much I paid for this, but I'll throw the price on the screen. And wait, this thing's hefty. Wait, hold on. This thing like actually feels decent. Like except the triggers. Triggers suck again. You gotta press them like crazy, but like the device itself is like high quality plastic. You even got your back buttons. Yo, we got R2 and L2 back here. That's kind of sick. Wait, a kickstand? No way. I mean, better than the original Switch kickstand. That's straight facts there. And yeah, this is kind of sick. The joysticks are actually like good too. We also got ABXY instead of ABCD. Let's just turn it on and see what happens. I hope it's something better. Oh, it's a welcome. That's like, the screen looks decent. Oh, wait. Yo, this thing's kind of sick. But anyways, let's scroll through. We got all games, I guess, here. Got MAME, PlayStation, Family Computer, nice. Super Famicom, Mega Drive. Why did they use the new Sonic there? That's interesting. Game Boy Color. Oh, again, a new Pikachu. Okay. Game Boy Advance, PC Engine, Atari, Sega Master System, Game Gear, Neo Geo Pocket Color, Wonder Swan Color. Why? I've never heard of that. And then we have download folder. Okay. Wait, what was that noise? Bro, come on. All right, let's get right into it. We'll play some PS1 games here and see how they run. Yo, Toy Story 2, let's go. Let's load it up. Oh, what? Oh, okay, so that it was running fine until that. What is going on? That's not great. Wow. So when I select the hint block, it just freaks out. And listen to the sound too, like. Yeah, that's not good. All right, well, that's your answer to does this thing play PS1 games? It's a strong kind of. Like, you can see we got Super Mario World working here, but our button configuration is all wrong. But all right, yeah, that works. Not really surprised there that Super Nintendo games work, but all right, guys, this device is actually kind of cool. Like, it got a decent screen. The buttons are pretty solid. It feels kind of hefty. It's light years better than all these other devices I've bought so far, and it was half the price. And now our last console here, the little mystery box. I'm not sure what's in this, but let's go ahead and find out. What? Okay, so this is interesting. It looks completely different than everything else. It's a Trimiu Smart Pro handheld game console, and yeah, it looks kind of crappy, but also it's pretty hefty, so maybe it's decent. Let's go ahead and see what's inside of here. Oh yeah, got a decent manual there. You also have a foam piece again. That's nice. Wait, this is actually a decent device. Oh, okay, so it's hefty in the hands. It's got some analog sticks here that are very similar to PS Vita analog sticks. Like, look at them. They're almost exactly the same. Then we also have R2 and L2 back here, which is kind of cool. And then on the back of the console, looks pretty standard. And I'm not sure what this thing is here, but it's not a button and it doesn't come out, so whatever. But I guess let's go ahead and turn this sucker on and see what happens. I really hope these things down here light up, and they do. Let's go. Let's go ahead and see what, oh, wait, hold on. What is this interface? This is nice. Even got a battery percentage up there. This is kind of sick. I guess we'll start with the Pokemon collection and see what's here. Yeah, like this is a nice interface. What is this thing? That's cool. Try out Pokemon Blue version here for the USA. Let's see if this loads up and works. Yo, it's even got the nice little side panels there as well. Yeah, I mean, no surprise, Game Boy game is working just fine. This thing is kind of sick though. I gotta say, let's go back to the, wait, there's an actual menu button here. Yo, instead of having to press a combo of start and select to get back, let's go back and try out our multi-cartridges here and see what's on this. Cool Boy 150 in 1, Cool Boy 340 in 1. It's just like a mix of just random crap, it looks like. Let's just, I guess, select one of them and see what it is. Okay, yeah, it's just 4 random games, I guess. Jake's Story. What? It almost looks like they took the operating systems of devices like this and put them as menu options on this thing. And it's like, yeah, just select one of them and you can emulate the X6 or something, which emulates other games. If that makes any sense, this is weird. Also, why is this like high definition? This is not quite what I expected. But also we got arcade vertical right here. Let me see what this thing can do. So it's just gonna be, yeah, just arcade games, which makes sense. Here's to just be random games. We'll try out the next space here. Wait, Xbox 360 controller configured in port 1. Are they emulating this device as a 360 controller for these games? What is this? They weren't lying when they said vertical. Dude, no shot. Oh, wait, it actually works vertical though. Oh, yes. Okay, so this, like, you can see right is right, left is left. Using this analog stick down here. Nice, they actually configured it correctly. But guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you've ever bought from TikTok Shop. I'm curious to hear your experience because I've had some strange ones. But guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Number 9. You can find all kinds of weird stuff from TikTok Shop, from a $30 Apple Watch to super cheap Xbox Series X consoles, but today I bought a $120 Xbox Series S console from TikTok, and in this video, we'll unbox it, test it out, tear it down, and see if we got scammed. Alright, so out of the package, and oh my goodness, dude, that is insane. It looks just like an Xbox Series S box. Even on the back of the box here, they have a photo of it standing straight up with the controller next to it, and holy crap, that controller is tiny compared to the console. So yeah, let's open this thing up and see what's actually inside. And by the way, it has PS2 support apparently, but yeah, looking at the inside, what on earth? That is so jank. Okay, so these controllers, they look like, wow, actually, those are not horrible. Let me pull that out. Let's take a closer look in a second. There's no way. This is our Xbox Series S. This, look how I have no words. This thing is so small. Got some cords, I guess, for charging maybe, and we have a absolutely tiny HDMI cable. What? Even got a manual I can't read. Awesome. Now obviously 2 controllers here, and I want to compare them to a real Xbox Series X controller and see that, wow, wait, hold on. At first glance, these are like the exact same size. It even has the exact same looking D-pad. And honestly, like, that's not a horrible D-pad. Yeah, overall, the buttons don't feel quite as bad as I thought they would, and I guess it's a wireless controller. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a closer look at the Xbox Series S in question now and see what's going on with this thing, because holy crap, yeah, that looks just like an Xbox Series S. That's wild. And like, of course, a real Xbox Series S for comparison, and you can see the real thing is already very small, but the fake one is like, I don't know, a 20th of the size? Just like, what? What am I looking at here, dude? This is hilarious. I mean, even the proportions are pretty dang close. Now, obviously, the ports don't really match up. There's just like a couple random ports on the back of this thing. And then on this side, We have a little cap that I think comes off, and oh, it's an HDMI stick. Oh, that's why this is included. Okay, so you plug this in, and then you plug it into your TV, and it just kind of dangles from your TV. But guys, let's go ahead and I guess plug this bad boy in and see if it's got some real Xbox games on it. Fingers crossed. I hope so. I don't see a power button on it actually, so maybe when I plug it in, it'll just turn on. Okay, plugged in. It's got a little blue light right there. You can also see some blue lights kind of shining through the console. We'll open it up later, I guess, and see if we can get to the inside. And oh, it is. Something's loading on the screen now. Wait, is that a setup guide? 1, TV. 2, Xbox Series S. 3, power. No way. We actually have PS2 games in this thing? There's no way, right? That's kind of sick if we do, but first of all, let's plug in this little dongle. I would assume it's for our wireless controller. Oh, yes, it's connected. Let's go. All right, that was pretty easy. So we got all games, 20,811 games. Nice. Or just, excuse me, game. Also got PS2, PSP, PSX, N64, Dreamcast, Nintendo DS. Dude, arcade classics. Yo. Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, Genesis. Why is the Game Boy Color sideways? All right, we got NGPC, PC Engine, WonderSwan. Holy crap, we got everything here. Master System, Naomi. What? What is Naomi? Dude, there's so much stuff on here. I haven't heard of like 5 of these things. So that's, I don't know, that's absurd. But I want to start out with the Nintendo DS here and see what we got. So we got bin 10. But why would they load up bin? That's so random. Why? Of all games, you build up bin 10? Whatever. Let's try out Lego Star Wars here. I love how the cover art is just stretched out to oblivion. Is this what I think it is? They're going to show one screen up here and another screen up here. Is this is this real life? Why did they think it was a good idea to put Nintendo DS games on here? I don't have a touchscreen. But I mean, yeah, I guess it works. I just can't use the touchscreen. That's so random. All right, let's go back. Try out the home button. Does that do anything? No, it doesn't. That's cool. Okay, I press start and select though, and it says we strongly recommend to not rely on save states exclusively. What is this? Oh, we got a little wheel here for our settings, but I can't read it because it's so small. What? And now it died. Huh? Okay, my Series S is now dead. Let me try to reboot it. Good old-fashioned unplug, plug it back in. Maybe it'll boot up. Again, no power button, so that's all I got here. Okay, 5 minutes later, we are back now. Let's try out, let's see, I don't know, N64 next, see if that works. Yo, we got Mario Kart 64. We gotta try that one out. Let's go ahead and see if this works. Huh? That just did the same thing. I pressed start on the game, and now it's gone. What? It just restarted itself. You gotta be kidding me. This thing was actually cool for a few minutes, and now it's doing this crap? I mean, come on, man. I'll try one more time, I guess. Maybe I'll try a different game. Super Mario 64, there we go. That's a classic. Let's go ahead and see if this works. Please, fingers crossed, come on. I also love how they're showing this to us like it's in, like a touchscreen. Like, dude, no, you didn't restart again. Come on. This is tragic. What in the world? Okay, let's try something simple here. Let's go with like a Game Boy game. We'll go Game Boy Advance. We got Major League Baseball 2K7 on the Game Boy Advance. I didn't know that existed, but we'll try it out and see if this game will play. Maybe. Okay, so far so good. Strike. Okay, well this game's been working for a few minutes, so let me try to go back now, and it's a different menu now. We got this resume, quit, save state, load state. Let me just quit here, and yeah, it takes me back. Okay, that's working fine. Let me try N64 one more time, see if I can play Wayne Gretzky 3D hockey. Let's try that. Okay, so Wayne Gretzky is working here, which is interesting. Okay, let's go back one more time and try Super Mario 64. And dude, wait, this is interesting. So every single time I press the start select thing to get to like our main menu, each game has a completely different screen to go back, which I don't know, I guess is fine, but I thought they'd all be the same. So one more time, Super Mario 64, please work this time. Come on. It's me, Mario. Let's go, we're back into it and it's working so far. Whoa. I can even climb trees. Let's go. Okay, guys, so I'm impressed so far. It is running the game fine after I got past all the glitches and everything. So this game's running. Let's go back now and try out a different emulator. We'll just assume N64 is working now. We'll try out PS1 here and see what this can do. And dude, I was just about to say I'm impressed how they're getting all the names right as far as I've seen so far, but then I came across Crash Wolf 3. Instead of Crash Bandicoot, so yeah, that's something. But overall, so far, the names are decent. You know, in the past, I've gotten consoles like this that just had awful names that made no sense, or they were like horrible translations, or they just like were just straight up bad. But yeah, not too bad here so far. Okay, and playing a little bit of Tomb Raider here. I mean, I haven't done much so far, but honestly, I didn't think it'd get this far. Yeah, I mean, buttons are working, sound looks good so far. Wow, I just avoided some arrows there. But you know, honestly, for how 3D this game is for a PS1 game, I thought it'd be struggling to run, or just like freezing up, or dropping frames, or bad sound, but I mean, it's fine so far, but again, haven't done a whole lot. Let's try one more game though. I wanted to try Rayman because I tried that on a PS1 emulator recently and it ran horribly. That's actually on our other channel called Kraken Cars. Go check that out if you want to see us do old handhelds and things like that. So go check that out. But next up, let's see. Wait, hold on. Ape Mount Titan. Is that Tarzan? That's Tarzan. Wow. Wow. Okay, I'm not gonna go any further. I'm just gonna leave that as Ape Mount. No words. Last but not least for PS1 games, we'll try out Ancient Puzzle Wolf 2. Yeah, and see if that loads up and see if it runs well. Yeah, just playing around a little bit on this one as well. No problems at all. Sound sounds fine as far as I can tell. It is running what I would say is perfectly normal for a PS1 game, except for the fact that I just died there because I wasn't paying attention. So guys, let's go back and try out next. We'll try out PSP games, because will that work? I don't know, but we're about to find out. Hold up. We have Pro Evolution Soccer 2023 for the PSP. What is this? Football 2023. It is from 2023. What? Some kind of ROM hack thing or something. All right. It's just very interesting to see on the PSP. Let's try to find a real PSP game here. It seems to be a bunch of like random games like Pinball, Pile Up Bakery, Paper Wars, Red Bull X Fighters. I haven't seen like any hard-hitting games or like highly noteworthy games, which might be on purpose because those games probably don't run on this thing, but that's just my assumption here. But let me find something interesting. I guess we'll try out GTA Vice City Stories. That's one of the only like few games that are actually recognizable on here, like God of War and GTA. Did this thing just restart again? Yes, it did. Awesome. Hey, well now it's loading up. Okay, I see you. And I've never played this game on the PSP, but graphically it looks kind of like what I'd expect, and it's running perfectly fine except for it just turned off there. Well, it kicked me back again. What in the world, man? Why does it keep doing that? But anyways, next up, guys, let's hop into our PS2 because that's what we're all here for. We want to see if this thing can actually play PS2 games because I'm a little bit doubtful here. But we got God of War 2, even got Bully, we got Burnout 3. Dude, there's no way this little thing can run these games, right? I don't know, man. Let's just go GTA again. And this says Vice City, but it's got Vice City Stories as our cover art here, which is interesting. We'll try out San Andreas because that's definitely a PS2 game, and we'll see what loads up, if anything. It'll probably just turn itself off again like it usually does, but yeah, we'll try it. Yep, cool, just immediately restarted itself. That's kind of expected, but try Burnout Revenge, maybe that'll load. Okay, it's loading so far. Okay, we're on the main menu now, and we'll go ahead and try multiplayer here because we have two controllers, and I've been wondering, can I use two controllers on this thing at the same time? Like, I guess we'll find out. So let's go ahead and do Road Rage here. Player 2, press start. Oh, I think it worked. No, don't restart again. No. No. We were almost there. I wanted to like this thing too because it has so many games on it. It's got PS2 games. It looks like an Xbox Series S, which let's talk about that. Because like how funny is it that it looks like a Series S, but it literally plays everything under the sun except for Xbox games. Come on now. But not surprising. But guys, let's go ahead and I guess unplug this thing, take it apart, and see what the inside looks like. If there's even an inside. Like how do you even take this thing apart? I don't know. Let's find out. Okay, so the back is actually misaligned. It looks like it's already peeling apart a bit. So let me see if I can just like kind of jam this thing in there and try to pry it apart maybe. There we go. Yep, just pried it apart and it came apart. And sure enough, you can see the top piece here. It looks like our Series S is just a piece of plastic and it's got a little grill there. I don't know, I really like this. Like this little piece right here is just, it's kind of cute. It's a little small Series S, man. Like it's cool. Why not put the Xbox logo on there as well? Like you're clearly copying it, just go ahead and do the full thing. But down here you can clearly see it's a custom PCB they built and yeah, it just kind of slides out of place. That's kind of cool. And then flipping to this side without reading all the numbers and everything, you can pause here and read those if you want to and look up the processor and all the RAM and everything that's on here. But guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time. Number 8. You ever been scrolling through TikTok and noticed they have some real sketchy stuff for sale? I mean, cheap phones, cheap consoles, things I can't even explain, and then this, a $180 PS5 console. So of course, I had to buy it, and in this video, we're gonna unbox it, test it out, and see if it's a scam. Okay, so I guess this is our PS5 console here. Also got what appears to be a controller. Wow, nice, a DualShock 3, I guess, cool. Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, I guess it looks like a PS5. This is low-key really cool and at the same time super jank. I mean, look at this thing. It's clearly 3D printed and it's just got some random screws inside of it. And the front has, you know, our whole like black glossy part that's usually on a PS5. Now, obviously this is 3D printed and it's not glossy, but it is there, which is interesting. And then also got the other side to the plate. There's some ventilation on top. Here on the back, we actually have a lot of ports here. Got some USB, LAN, VGA, wait, VGA. VGA, really? HDMI, power. So yeah, pretty strange so far. Let's go ahead and compare it to a real PS5 though and see how it looks. Okay, so real PS5 here, and as you can see, they clearly just stole the shape from the PS5. It's got the whole black portion in the middle with the plates on their left and right side. Now this one's obviously a lot more boxy and not quite as curved and just, as I said, very jank, but you can see where it came from. Also wanted to compare it to this other random PS5 I've gotten in the past from like Temu or TikTok or whatever, and yeah, you can see it's somewhere in the middle, but let's go ahead and plug this bad boy in and see what it can do. Okay, I just plugged in the power, and look at this, guys. This is, oh man, just adding to the jankness here. When I first tried to plug it in, it actually didn't fit because the board is just kind of like flexing back and forth, so I had to like, yeah, look at that. It just, the board is moving back and forth inside the case. So it's, I don't know, not a huge deal, but come on, man. But let's try to turn this thing on and see what happens. There's an interesting button on the bottom, which I would assume turns it on, although there are zero power lights or anything, so no idea if this thing's even turning on, but I guess we'll find out here in a second. What? Oh, wow. What was that? Yeah, not gonna lie, that might have been one of the weirdest startups I've ever seen from any console, from TikTok, AliExpress, Temu, anything. But we are booted up here in, what? This start menu is actually kind of sick. What is going on here? Let me go ahead and scroll around this thing and see what's up. And wait a second, do I hear the PS2 menu music right now? I do. That's actually an awesome touch. Okay, kind of like this thing so far. And as you can see at the top, we've got our icons from PS Plus to notifications to friends, just like a PS3, PS4, PS5 kind of deal. So let's go ahead and scroll around though here and see what else is on it. We also got PSP, got LCD games, arcade favorites, light gun games. Okay, that's kind of cool. Vertical arcade, wheel games, tons of categories here. Let me go back to our actual consoles though. Okay, going back, PS1, Neo Geo Pocket Color, Neo Geo CD, Neo Geo Here we go with another console. I've seen this thing before, but like I haven't heard this name cross my mind in 15 years. ZX Spectrum, okay. Sinclair ZX81, never heard of that before. Sega Naomi, I forgot that was a thing. Dreamcast, Sega Saturn, Sega CD, Genesis. Here's the Atomic Swave. Pi game. What is Pi game? Oh, it's just Python games. I guess people made. Okay, that's kind of cool. Ports, Open Bore, 3DS, Wii, DS, GameCube, Game Boy Color, N64, Virtual Boy. What? TurboGrafx, Xbox. Yo, wait. Also, what is this advertisement here, bro? What is that? What am I watching? We're gonna have to blur out some of that because that's like I don't know if that's safe to show on YouTube. Okay, we also got Windows, MSX, some other stuff here. What in the world? They got everything here, man. Of course, very curious about Xbox, but I want to start with the classic. We'll go with Super Nintendo, I guess, is a safe bet. See what this does, and hopefully, oh no, man. Are there no thumbnails? Come on, this thing was so sick at the first glance on the home menu, and now we're at the games with no details, just names. That's actually tragic if they're all like this. You know what? We'll try out Super Mario Kart here and see if this loads up and works. Okay, that's cool. It's pre-configured with a nice little sidebars there, so you get the classic 4:3 aspect ratio there. Yeah, guys, really no surprise here. The game is running just fine. The sounds fine as well. So if it couldn't play Super Nintendo games, then I'd be pretty mad. But let's go back to our main menu here and try out a different game. I'm gonna skip right over N64 because I imagine it's probably fine, because I'm very curious about GameCube here. I want to try out GameCube, see how that runs, and cool. We actually have some resemblance of thumbnails here, which is good to see. And you know, we'll try out I don't know, let's try out Smash Bros. Melee and see how that bad boy runs. And guys, if GameCube works, PS2 works, Xbox works, I'm gonna low-key call this maybe better than a real PS5 for the price. Like, getting all these retro games on here and like a nice interface. You even got the whole GameCube console on the sidebars there. It's pretty sick. I like it so far, but let's go ahead and see if this runs. Ooh, it's running. Yeah, that's not great. It's like, it's running, but it just freezes every once in a while. Like you'll see when I jump, and actually, it's doing okay now. I call it acceptable. It is kind of laggy because I'm playing through a capture card, so I lose like a whole second and I just get screwed here, man. But I'd call it fine. It's playable, but not great. Let's go back and try out our next console here, though. So next we'll try the Wii, which should be pretty interesting. And I should mention, like I mentioned this briefly earlier before, but it's really cool how they have some sort of trailer running in the bottom left-hand corner of a lot of these consoles. Like, I don't see anything for actually. No, it's for the DS as well. Got it for the DS, got it for the Wii. That's actually a sick touch. I love that. But let's go ahead and boot up the Wii here and try out a game and see how it runs. Looks like we have like 2 or 3 copies of every game here. Is it for different regions, I guess? Maybe? I don't know. Let's try to find a Mario game though and see if that can run. There we go. Mario Kart Wii. We gotta see if this bad boy will boot up and actually run properly. Judging by the GameCube win, I'm not expecting much, but we'll give it a go. Yeah, we're already getting some hiccups and some freezing on the main menu, which is not great. I can't even select there we go, finally selected it. But yeah, probably not gonna be very great once you get into the actual race here. See you, suckers. Got him. Oh, crap. Okay, honestly, ever since the race started going, this game is actually running fine for the most part. I'd say even better than Smash Bros. was on the GameCube. I gotta figure out controls. It's just really strange playing Nintendo games on a PlayStation controller, so I gotta figure that out. But yeah, it's honestly not bad at all. But next up, as always, I'm pretty curious about the 3DS because the 3DS has 2 screens, so how do I play that on one screen? And we have, okay, 2 games. All right, let's back out of that and try the regular DS and see if there's any more games for that. Because it's gonna be the same kind of situation here. We got 2 screens here. We'll try out Thrillville Off the Rails for Europe. Sure. Okay, yeah, it's booted up, and there's a really interesting emulation like screen there. You can see both the screens kind of morph together. We got this cheerleader in the background screaming something about Thrillville, and the stylus, I saw it move briefly, but it's just getting stuck. Okay, that's not playable. What is going on? I can't even what is it doing? Okay, let's go back. I'm not gonna deal with that. Okay, now next up, guys, we'll try out PlayStation. We're working our way up to PS2, PSP, and Xbox, because those Very curious about those, see how those runs. But let's try out a PS1 game here. I'm gonna look for a specific game from my childhood to see if it runs. Yes, they have it. Let's go, Razor Freestyle Scooter, dude. Okay, so when I was like, I don't know, 5 years old, I got a PS1 from a yard sale, and I think I also got this game at a yard sale too. And it was my first home console, and I was pumped to play it. And I played the crap out of this game because it's the only game I had. So yeah, this is gonna bring back some memories. Oh wow, man, this is sick. Let's go, yo, Chad. Let's go, Chad. It's like knockoff Tony Hawk with Razor scooters. I don't know, just kind of sick. 360X up, heck yeah. 540 leg sweep. Yo, I can't miss. Oh crap. Come on, Chad. Come on, Chad. Chad, what are you doing, bro? Chad was invincible for a minute, but now we're done for. My controller's breaking. All right, let's go back to the home menu before I rage. Chad. Try out some PS2 here and see how that runs. Ooh, and we got a different format here. Okay, I see you. We got the full cover art, dude. This is sick. Even got Toy Story 3. We got FIFA Street. That's a classic for me. But as always, a good test is GTA Vice City. So let's go ahead and boot that up and see how it runs on this PS5 here. By the way, it's I don't know, the build quality on this thing, it's super jank. It's getting pretty hot. We do have a ventilation on the top and on the back here. I'm not sure which one is the way the airflow flows in, which way the airflow flows out, because I don't feel anything from either direction. And I can barely hear a fan inside, so yeah, I don't know. But it's fine though so far. I probably need to mess with the configuration of the controls here because the analog stick just doesn't work except for or it does sometimes, kind of. Not really, I can't go forward though. The D-pad works kind of, but it's a D-pad and it's just kind of jank here. But it's playing, and honestly, so far it's fine. Let me see if I can punch some people and see how that runs. Oh yeah, take me out. Take me out, fool. You won't do it, you won't. Busted. You can even get busted on this thing. All right, so I mean, the game ran absolutely fine. A lot better than the GameCube game did. So let's go back, and next up I want to try out actually, we got PSP next, then Xbox. We'll see how those run. So a lot of times what I've noticed is a lot of these PSP games or PSP emulators will just have lots of like the PSP minis, as you can see here, but I know FIFA Street 2 is not a mini, it's a regular game, so let me boot that up and see how that runs. I actually tried that recently on another console, and it ran very poorly, so interested to see how this does. You know what, I actually kind of think the joystick is messed up here, because every game I've noticed when I press up, it just does nothing. Not ideal, but I guess I'll just use a D-pad for now. But anyways, honestly, the game is running perfectly fine, so let's go back and check out Xbox games next, because very curious about that. We got to see how that runs. Like, honestly, I feel like you just barely ever see Xbox on anything. We got 9 games here. We've got Jet Set Radio Future, Nice, 2K5, MLB, Golf, Rayman Arena, Road Trooper, Tetris, World Championship Rugby, and Yu-Gi-Oh! It's a very random mix of games. Let's try out Jet Set Radio, though. Not a great start because the Xbox logo booting in was just extremely choppy, but we'll give it a go a little bit further here. Okay, honestly, not doing much yet, but it's actually running a whole lot better in the game than I expected after that initial intro there. And yeah, just playing around some more. It seems fine for the most part. There is some slowness here and there in like the cutscenes, and like, you know, when you're talking to somebody, it seems like it's a little bit slow. But honestly, a lot better than I expected. But anyways, guys, I gotta say this thing is honestly pretty sick. We got 70,000 total games, as you can see here. But guys, let's go ahead and turn this thing off, open it up, and see what the inside of this thing is packing. You always love to see what things are packing. Okay, so I'm not sure about opening this thing up because actually the 2 plates on the outside are kind of morphed together by this bottom piece. And so I guess maybe the inside slides out. I don't know, let's just start taking screws out and see what happens. Okay, well that screw just spins forever, goes nowhere. This screw also just spins forever. That's not ideal. What in the world? Front screw is also just spinning in place and not going anywhere. What the heck, man? Okay, well there it comes. It's popping off now, kind of. Okay, so we can see our power button here on the front piece. You can kind of see inside of here. Okay, so that's interesting. So I think we can see enough here, but basically on the top here we have some intake holes, I believe, but the fan is not even aligned with those intake holes. It's just kind of off to the side of it, which is interesting. Then we also have like some exhaust holes in the back which have nothing aligned with it. It's just those are just there. You can kind of see if you zoom in there. It's just there on the back. Then of course the top also has some ventilation holes which are just there. There's no way for the air to route it that way. It's just kind of how it's happening. I don't know. It's probably good enough for the system, but very interesting. And oh wow, hold on. You know these 4 screws right here? When I said they look kind of odd because there's just like 4 random screws in the middle of the case. Well, those 4 screws are holding in our hard drive right there, or SSD I should say. Kind of hard to see in there, but you can zoom in and see there's just an SSD mounted to the plate on the inside. Wow, that's something. Number 7. I've gotten a lot of crazy stuff from AliExpress, you know, anything from a comically large PS2 portable with real hardware inside to a calculator that plays PS5 games. But guys, it gets even crazier in this video. I bought a $200 PlayStation console that you've definitely never seen before, and we'll unbox it, test it out, and try to figure out why this thing exists. Holy crap, guys. You will not believe this. What? And at first glance, this might look normal, right? But no, take a closer look. This is definitely not normal. This is a PS2 Super Slim. Like, I just gotta immediately pull out a PS2 Slim and compare. And yep, in case you guys didn't believe me, this is a real PS2 Slim. This is the AliExpress PS2 Slim that is literally like half the size. Like, look at this. Look at this. This is insane. What is this thing? Now, starting on the front, you see we still have 2 memory card slots, 2 controller ports. We also have only 1 USB port versus 2. And on the normal PS2 Slim, we have an eject button right there, but here it's actually just a power and reset button. So it looks like they actually moved this button over here and then just literally chopped off half of the console. I would assume there's nowhere to put a game here, but I guess we'll find out. And then flipping to this side, it looks pretty normal. Flipping to the bottom, it looks normal as well, but just trimmed in half. Yeah, like it's literally the same. It's just that half is cut off. I'm just more and more blown away every time I look at this thing. And then guys, flipping over to this side, I'm actually really impressed with what they did here, because you'd think just cutting this thing in half, it would have a really jagged edge over here, but no, it actually has the PS2 layers, just like the PS2 Slim. So they did some sort of magic here to get that look on that side. I'm not sure how. And then flipping to the back, oh my goodness. Guys, we have an HDMI port. Dude, this is awesome. We have an HDMI port, we still have our network out, our digital out, our AV multi out, and then of course our power right there. But let's go ahead and see if like a disk drive will pop open or anything. I don't think so. Nope, definitely not. But yeah, in case you don't know, on the normal PS2 Slim, it just pops open like so, and wow, I have a game inside. Nice. And then also just looking around, wait, hold on. Dude, right there in that corner there, I don't know if you can see that, but super zoom that, super zoom it. We've got an SD card, dude, what? We've got a little hidden 128 gigabyte SD card just in the side of the console. That's insane. And I failed to mention that they included a memory card with some cryptic writing on it. I don't know if that's like it looks like a MAC address. Now also guys, one more thing I noticed here on the bottom, we only have 2 rubber feet on the PS2 Super Slim, so it actually slides around a bit when you push it, which is, I'm not a huge fan of. I like to have rubber feet so it doesn't slide around. And then probably the more noteworthy thing here is our PS2 Super Slim is an NTSC-J console versus an NTSC-U/C console over here. And then you can see we have a 79006 model number, which I guess is the PS2 Super Slim model that only comes from Japan. And guys, I have one more comparison here I want to do. This bad boy here also came from AliExpress, and this is massive. It's a PS2 portable. Like literally, it has a PS2 inside of this thing. It has batteries, it has memory cards, it has the original controller kind of buttons here. And yeah, it's clearly a very, very large. Let me just do a little size comparison here. You can see that our PS2 Super Slim is like literally just a fraction of the size of this bad boy over here. But of course, we need an external power supply and everything for that, so it's understandable. But guys, let's go ahead and plug this bad boy in and just see what happens. All right, so all plugged in, and guys, I have a few more curiosity kind of questions here to point out. So I'm really curious what the inside of this thing looks like, because is it real PS2 hardware? I would assume so based on the looks, but you never know. They might have done something sketchy inside. We'll find out later. We have it plugged in though, and you can see here on the front, we have a red light. Let's go ahead and turn this bad boy on, and yep, turns green. Oh yeah, I hear a fan. Wow, that's a loud fan. What in the world? Let's see if it boots. Yep, straight into FreeMcBoot. Wow. Looks just like a PS2 menu, but it's obviously modded with FreeMcBoot here. We got browser, system config, launch, and then open PS2 LD. I'm not quite sure what that is, but guys, let's check out the version here first. Funny how it has a DVD player in there, but there's clearly no, I guess it's probably emulating the DVD player with the memory card or whatever, or maybe the SD card on the side. Let me check out the browser first here and see if it shows up with our memory card so we can see what's on this bad boy. Okay, so just a bunch of FreeMcBoot files. I'm actually curious, what happens if I boot this thing without the memory card? I feel like it just won't boot, maybe? Oh yeah, so just boots straight into the normal configuration here. Basically like a normal PS2, but of course you can't do anything with it because there's no disk drive. So like, what's the point? Actually, hold on. One more thing I want to try before we dive into the software in this thing. Let me plug in an external disk drive and see if that somehow works. Wait, yo, I was looking for a disk drive and look at this, guys. You won't believe what the side of this thing shows. It's got an orange light. Dude, that's so cool. What? Bro, this thing is actually awesome. All right, let me resume my hunt for a disk drive. All right, disk drive plugged in, and there is power here. Nice. And we have a Japanese PS2 game. Let me go ahead and slide that in. Yeah, so definitely trying to read, but clearly not popping up with anything. Not surprising, but I figured I'd try. You never know with these modded consoles. Guys, back here on the FreeMcBoot page, let's go ahead and explore a little bit. Now let's try this launch page here. Oh, no disk. Well, yeah, there's no disk. There's no disk drive. What? And somehow it took me back to the browser page. What? Huh, apparently I can just access functions from that page there, and I just turned off the console 2 software, which I have Never done on a PS2 before, but you know, it's modded, so that makes sense. All right, so I looked it up, and we're on Launch Elf right now, as you can see, and it's an open source file manager and executable launcher for the PS2 consoles. So that makes sense because we're browsing around the files and everything. But let's go back to the main menu here and see if I can access some games. I should also mention that I got another package here that we'll open up later that should have a memory card that has who knows what on it from AliExpress as well. Let's try out this Open PS2 thing right here. There we go, Open PS2 Loader, OPL. That makes sense. I've just seen it called OPL instead of the real name, and holy crap, we got a lot of games. Let's go. We got Biohazard 4, Biohazard Outbreak, also some GTA, Lego Batman, nice. Oh, we also got some PS1 games here as well, like Silent Hill, Parasite Eve Disc 1, and Parasite Eve 2 Disc 1. All right, well, I'm booting up a PS1 game here, and we got all kinds of hacker looking stuff, but let's see if it boots. All right, guys, well, now we're having some issues. I booted up Silent Hill for the PS1. It looks like we have the Japanese version, and it's just the controller doesn't work, which is strange because it worked fine on the main menu, so not sure what's going on there. And in the meantime, I was also looking at the AliExpress listing here, and I'm missing a lot of stuff. Let me just explain. So it says we should have the modified host, which I guess is the PS2, also our memory card, our SD card, and then it says we should have the original power adapter, original wireless Bluetooth vibration handle, which I guess is a controller, and an HDMI cable. But looking at our package here, there was literally just our memory card and our PS2, and this thing is so light, there's nothing left in it, which is not a huge deal, but kind of annoying because it wasn't cheap, especially coming from AliExpress. But guys, let's go back to the main menu here and try to boot up a different game and see if that'll work. Oh, now the controller just doesn't work at all. What? It just straight up doesn't work anymore. I tried to unplug it and plug it back in. Let me just try to turn this thing all the way off, I guess. Guess it was a bug, because now it's fine. But that's not a great sign, because it happened when I tried to play a game, which is obviously what we want to do on a PS2 is play games. So let's try another one. Wait, all my games are gone now. What? Let me just unplug it, I guess. Oh, man, what the heck? All right, well, I unplugged everything and plugged it back in, and it still says cannot connect to SMB server. All right, and now I changed some settings to auto in hopes that it would detect some kind of game, and now it's just frozen. Oh, man. This thing was so awesome for a minute. All right, guys, and now I'm in Launch Elf again, trying to just scroll around, and the thing froze again. I can't do anything. Dude, what the heck? All right, well, I guess it's time for our other package here, because this one is just completely crapped out. All right, so I paid 27 bucks for this thing. It's just a memory card, and it should have a ton of games, or maybe it's 2 memory cards. Let me just take this out. I mean, as you guys know, with the AliExpress listings, they're not very clear, but we have our free McBoot right there, it looks like, and then maybe some games here, not quite sure. Oh, actually, this is an adapter for an SD card, and the SD card goes down there, which they conveniently included right here. Let's go ahead and pop these two in, and hopefully this doesn't mess up whatever's going on with this console already, but it's worth a try. All right, so very similar menu pops up here. We got browser, system config, OPL MX4 game version 1, game version 2, OPL 10th, Launch Elf, Codebreak, NES emulator. Oh, okay, that's cool. Simple media system, launch disk, which I can't do, controller tester, BIOS, launch disk, restart system. Okay, so there's a whole lot more stuff going on here. Let's just start with the NES emulator here and see what happens. Or maybe not, been like half a minute and we're still on a black screen. I think this PS2 might just be jacked up. Let me try to restart. All right, guys, well, instead we're gonna try the OPL game version of 1 thing here and see what's on it. So clearly a bunch of just random games, some USA, just like a mix of random games. Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition, dude. That's one of my favorite games of all time. Let me put that up and hopefully it runs now. Hey, let's go, we're booted up. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Got the garage, dude, the customs. Oh, let's customize our car. Customize this Monte Carlo, let's go. Oh, my boy. Dude, I remember this guy from when I was like 8 years old playing this game. Oh, man. Memories unlocked. Let's go, we're rocking the gold now. Oh, yeah. Heck yeah, straight to the water. Yep, oh, crap. All right, guys, well, let's go back to the main menu and try out some more features on this memory card, since it seems to be actually working now. Well, still these 2 memory cards right here, and we're on OPL 10th Anniversary Edition, and it's still just nothing. So maybe it's just something wrong with this OPL 10th. All right, well, I tried another menu option as well. I forgot what it was because it's been loading so long and it's just frozen again. So guys, I think that's our cue to go ahead and turn this thing off and try to open it up and see what it looks like on the inside of this case, because like I'm very curious. So I want to open up both a PS2 Super Slim and a regular Slim here. So I took the screws out and we're gonna go ahead and take a look at these two and kind of compare them. So first we have a regular PS2 Slim, which still disc inside. You can see we have the motherboard taking up the entire shell here, along with a fan here, a heat sink, and then our whole disk drive assembly. And then I'm assuming as we take this out, we'll see the whole disk drive missing. Oh, hold on, something's attached. All right, so I had to take off this little jumper here that connected to a header on this custom PCB, and wow, this yeah, this thing is straight up a PS2 with no disk drive assembly. You can just see that entire piece is missing. And you would assume they cut the motherboard up some so it would actually fit in here, and I see some like a little bit of jaggedness down there, which is probably from a Dremel, I would assume. And yeah, of course, our little SD card slot here, our little custom dev dev board. Yeah, ESP32 dev kit V1. Also another little custom board down there. And I would assume this board connected to the memory card slot has something to do with the FreeMake boot as well. There's also a button on there. I'm not sure if I should press that. I don't know what it does. But otherwise, yeah, you can see the differences here. And obviously this is just a different model than this one. So natively they're gonna look a bit different. But it's just kind of amazing how they crammed everything in this little tiny space. And also, what is that? There's a little button that you can press back there as well. What does that do? Yeah, and that button is definitely not on the normal PS2 Slim, so I'm not sure what that does, but let me actually just go ahead and plug this thing back in and see what that button does. And also just noticed as we plugged it in, yeah, they did just straight up relocate the power button down here. You can see some solder points down there where they soldered it in. Not the cleanest looking thing, but it works, I guess. Oh, you know what? I think this thing enables and disables the HDMI output, so let me unpress it now, and our signal will go away. Yep. So it just switches over to AV after that. And I should also note that the LED you saw on the side of the case connects via this jumper down to this little header right there. And it looks like there's a resistor with a jumper that I guess just goes to power somewhere to tell it to turn on. But obviously it's not on right now because we're not plugged in. But yeah, guys, other than that, pretty cool device. I just wish it worked better and would actually play games. Not sure what happened because it literally just stopped working as I booted up Silent Hill. Like after I booted up Silent Hill, everything just stopped. So I don't know, but guys, let me know down below if you have any more advice or how to deal with this on this PS2. But guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Number 6. Have you guys ever seen a PS2 Slim and thought, man, I wish someone would make that thing a lot smaller? Yeah, me neither. But you know what? I found a PS2 Slim variation from AliExpress for $400 that you've definitely never seen before. And in this video, we're gonna unbox it, test it out, tear it down, and find out if this thing even works. All right, so here it is, guys. Wait, what? Hold on. Okay, so first we have a memory card, of course, and then this thing looks like a super slim PS2, but also it's kind of fat. Wait, what did they do here? Guys, let me start with a comparison here to kind of show you where my head's at, because this thing is really strange. So first of all, I have a regular PS2 Slim. So as you can see, it's about half the size of the PS2 Slim, the official PS2 Slim, and then flipping it to the front, you can see it looks very similar like on this side. So we have our controller ports and our memory cards on both units here. And we also have this fat stack of something on top here. I'm not sure what that is. We'll find out here in a minute. And then, you know, just looking at the other sides here, it looks very, very similar to a PS2 Slim. Has the same ridges and kind of texture and everything on the side there. And flipping to the back, it looks like we have about the same as well. Power port, AV out, digital out, network, and we actually have an HDMI port as well, which is kind of stuck in there, and that's a nice little addition. And now here's a real comparison. So I bought this, the true PS2 Super Slim quite a few months ago, and this thing is literally just half of a PS2 Slim, chopped in half, no disk drive or anything. And this new unit here is very similar in terms of size and shape and everything, except it has this extra stack on top, which now that I'm looking at it, I think it might be a disk drive. Hold on, wait a second. Okay, so let's go ahead and see if this thing, what it'll do. So first of all, take a look at the bottom here. We got a nice little PlayStation logo, which is kind of cool to see. Got 2 rubber feet down here, but not up there, so the thing kind of slides around as per usual. A little disappointing, and the top looks kind of just thrown on there. The textures don't really match up and stuff. Let's go ahead and see if this thing will pop open, and yo, that's actually awesome. Wait a second. They literally chopped the PS2 Slim in half, took the disk drive and slapped it on top of there, so it's like more vertical now and in a smaller shape, I guess, and not quite as long. I don't know what they're doing here, but it's actually kind of awesome. Now, I will say, just taking a closer look at this thing, it's very jank how it was mounted to the top here. You can see on the back, it's not really aligned at all. It's kind of just, you know, glued on there or something. I'm not really sure what happened here, but it's, yeah, I feel like that could have been a little bit better for $450 or whatever I paid for this thing, which is actually absurd for a PS2, but I did it for the gram anyway. So guys, let's go ahead and plug this thing in, I guess, and wait, hold on. Is there really no power supply or anything? We have this little blue slip, which is like an invoice, but there's no power supply, no HDMI cable. There's also no vertical stand, which it showed a vertical stand in the listing here, because it kind of looks nice vertically right there, kind of, except it wobbles. It wobbles because it's not aligned correctly. Oh man. Here we go. I thought this thing was cool for a second, but no, it's turned out to be pretty jank. But let's go ahead and, I guess, plug it in, turn it on, and see what happens. Okay guys, so console is plugged in, and a few more things I wanted to point out. So first of all, it did come with this memory card, which I assume has FreeMake boot or something on it, but it doesn't really need to because we do have a disk drive, so this thing should hopefully function without any FreeMake boot or anything, because we can put a disc in and just play it like normal. We also have a red light right there, which is pretty normal for a PS2. That's where it lights up, you know, when the console's plugged in. But guys, let's go ahead and turn this thing on and see what happens. So 3, 2, 1. Ooh, hold up. Let me show you this. So a similar thing actually happened on the last PS2 Super Slim I bought from AliExpress, where you get a little orange light here on the side, which is nice and nifty, a nice little add-on there. I like to see that there, man. But let's go ahead and, yeah, there's OPL. Okay, that's kind of what we expect to see booting up here, and it's got a nice flashing logo in the bottom right-hand corner, which is never a great sign. And okay, booted up here, we cannot connect to the SMB server. I think I need to connect to the internet or something to do anything there, but we'll leave that alone. And it looks like we have no games. Wait, seriously? You sold me this with no games? Is that... There's no way, right? Oh, let's go, guys. I just, okay, so I first booted up, and there were no games whatsoever. It gave me an error, and then I just, like, I just restarted it, and now it's working when we have a million games downloaded. Let's go ahead and scroll through and see what's on here. We got a bunch of, of course, some Japanese games that I'm not familiar with. We got black with no cover art. I guess it's a black cover. Oh, okay, there it is. It popped up. It just takes a second to pop up, which is not surprising. It's running on a memory card, which is ultra slow. I'm not gonna get into that, but it's ultra slow, man. Just think 2001 speeds here. But we got Bleach Blade Battles and Bleach Blade Battlers. Well, to the second. Bleach Blade Battlers. Second. Just a random assortment of games. Honestly, I don't know if there's any rhyme or reason for any of these games to be here, but they're here. We got a different Silent Hill 2 version that I'm not familiar with either. Also got I used to play Winning 11 Soccer back in like 2001 or something, but oh, we got some PS1 games here as well. That's cool. Biohazard 3, Journey to the West, Metal Gear Solid, Parasite Eve, Silent Hill. Cool. So let's go ahead and see what other stuff we can do on this console. So I'll click menu here and it pulls up the settings, display settings and stuff. So oh, whoops. I forgot Japanese console. I got to press circle to select stuff and not X. Yeah, other than that, it seems pretty standard. So let's go back and try to play one of these games. What? It kicked me back to my memory card, which is interesting. Let me see if I can restart this thing and get it back into the setting I wanted to see. But I should also mention I got a BitFun X memory card here from AliExpress for this video as well, where it has a screen on it. So we'll check that out later because I'm very intrigued what a screen on memory card can do. It just seems wrong. But let's go ahead and try to boot up a game here. We'll go with the classic Grand Auto Theft.
For Auto Theft.
Andreas Sand here and see what happens. Okay, well, it's been loading config for a good half minute at this point. Dagnabbit, just freaking load. It's always something with these consoles. Okay, I also got a stack of games here to test in just a minute, but let's go ahead and I'll try a different game. I'll try out Black here and see if that'll run. Well, that's hype. Black is loading up now. This is going through a giant cutscene of music produced by, game produced by, whatever stuff, but you can see it is working. So I'm gonna go back now and try out a PS1 game as well. Cool, so Silent Hill loaded up here, and so far this seems like a normal PS2 with the OPL loaded on it as per normal, just of course a lot smaller. Now next up, we of course need to try out these games here and see if we can play games on this disk drive, because this is just insane to have a disk drive stacked on top of the PS2. Like, I don't know, man. Let's go ahead and toss in MX vs. ATV Unleashed and see what happens. So toss it in there, close it up. We'll go ahead and restart the console and see if it'll load up automatically or if I have to select a setting in the menu. I don't know. We'll find out. Okay, just back into OPL. Let me go ahead and just, I'll take out the memory card here and go back to our main menu and see if I can just get to the regular PS2 menu and see if that'll do something. Hey, there it goes. Okay, boots right into the game. So it's acting like a normal PS2 now that I have, OPL taken out of the console. So that's good to see. Okay, so it actually works. I'm very curious to open this thing up and see what the inside looks like, because what did they do here, man? So we'll of course open this thing up later, but let's go ahead and go back to our main menu again and try to put a different game inside and see what this thing exactly works with, because this is a PS2, or excuse me, an American PS2 game. But I'm curious, is this a Japanese PS2? There's no sticker on the bottom, so I'm not quite sure, but I would assume it's a Japanese PS2 considering how many Japanese games are loaded up into OPL. So let's go ahead and try out some more variations of games. So we'll try out a Japanese PS2 game here and see if this thing is just region-free, which would be nice. I would assume that's working. I can't read anything on the screen here, but let's go ahead and, yeah, that's working. Cool, so it is region-free. Hey, that's sick. So I'm curious about PS1 games. We have a North American PS1 game here we'll try out first. Then I also have some Japanese PS1 games, also a PAL PS1 game, and we'll see what those do, see if it's region-free on PS1 and PS2 games, or maybe just PS2 games. So let's find out. And before that, I'm curious if it'll boot into like a regular PS2 menu without the disc in there. And yes, okay, so it goes to browser and system config here, just like a normal PS2. And yeah, it looks completely normal. So if we pop the disc down now, or the disc tray down, it should go ahead and read it up. But we'll see if this PS1 game actually loads to the main screen though, because so far nothing's happening. It's not good. Yeah, so no, that's not doing anything. Okay, let's go ahead and pop that out. And we'll pop in a Japanese PS1 game and see if that works here. And yeah, that is also not doing anything. What? Let me go ahead and restart the main menu one more time and pop the disc in and see if it shows up like in the browser or something. So again, in the browser, we'll close the disc tray. And it definitely reads it. It says PlayStation Disc. I've never seen this before. A PS1 game that loads in the browser, but then you click on it and it's just a dead black screen for both Japanese and North American games. It's really weird. All right, cool. Let's go back, and I have another disc to try out. It's not a PS1 game though this time. It's a DVD. So we have the classic Austin Powers here. Let's go ahead and pop this in and see if this thing will read DVDs. I imagine we might have another situation of popping a game inside or popping a DVD inside. It sees it, but it doesn't actually play it. But we'll find out. And again, that pops up. It says DVD video in the top right-hand corner, and that's a big fat. Yeah, it's doing nothing. I don't know, man. Let me know down below if you got any ideas. But let's go ahead and go back here. And I want to try out this little PS1 memory card or PS2 memory card with a screen next up and see what this thing can do. Let's go ahead and pop it in and see I guess what it pops up as in the browser here. Yo, wait, that's so sick. Look at that screen. Like, I don't care if this thing is a gimmick. It's just awesome that there's a screen on a PS2 memory card. Like, I'm just thinking back to my days of playing PS2 as a kid. Just like, my mind would be blown if I saw a memory card with a screen on it. Like, it's already blown right now, and I'm, you know, 25 years later. But let's go ahead and scroll through here and see if I can do something with this memory card here. So first of all, it's got a bunch of, oh, hold up, it's got FreeMake boot on it and corrupted data. That's a great that's a great thing to start out with, is corrupted data. I love to see it. Let me see if I can like scroll through here. Okay, so these right here, BT1 and BT2 are for button 1 and button 2. And I guess you can scroll through and, oh wait, it's different. Wait, is it different memory cards on one memory card? Oh, it is. So you have different channels. So we're loading up channel 3 now. Channel, what do we got? Channel 5, channel 6, channel 7, 8, 1. All right, let's try channel 1 again and reboot this thing and see if it'll boot straight into OPO now. Yeah, so still nothing, just takes me straight into Launch Elf here. So let's go ahead and turn this console off and let's try it on a normal PS2 Slim, and maybe that'll fix the issue. Maybe it's something to do with this weird hardware I have here. So let's go ahead and plug it into my normal PS2 Slim and see what happens. Okay, well, I just restarted the entire thing and now it is in FreeMake boot, which is good to see. Let me go ahead and see if I can open OPL here and see if that'll do something now, hopefully. This has been quite the trip here. It loaded up, but it's giving me an infinite spinning wheel in the corner with no games or anything. So whatever, this is a very cool device. I love the screen on it, but I'll put a link down below if you guys want to check this thing out on AliExpress, because I just like the screen itself. Just a screen on a PS2 memory card, very cool. But guys, let's go ahead and hop back into our really weird, fat, slim, super thing, whatever you want to call this thing. Let's do a teardown and see what the inside looks like. Okay, so bottom piece is coming off now. Hopefully nothing falls apart here, and oh wow. Okay, well, this is a little bit wild here. Let me see if I can get this apart enough for you guys to see this. Just to give you a little bit of a bearing on what you're looking at here, we have the front of the console here with a memory card and everything, and here on top is our disk drive. So first thing you notice is we have clearly our just motherboard, normal motherboard there on the bottom of all this stuff. You can see our heatsink in there, also our fan in there, which hopefully is pointing the right direction, because AliExpress is known for sending stuff out with fans and heatsinks and stuff just like not mounted correctly. So yeah, hopefully that's all good. And then next you notice just multiple little PCBs kind of shoved in here. We got this one in the corner, which I think might be, oh, that's our HDMI. You can see our HDMI PCB just kind of shoved in there with some cables soldered in. And I gotta say, the soldering job on that is pretty jank. Now, it's not any better than what I would do, but for $450, I'd expect to, you know, hopefully a little bit better. But anyways, got some more PCBs in there. Also got our micro SD card in there, which I assume has all our games and stuff. And looking at the back, you can see another PCB kind of just laying on top of there. I'm not quite sure what that is because I can't reach all the way back there or see back there. But anyways, we also have a bunch of ribbon cables and wires going from the bottom to the top here, basically connecting our motherboard to our disk drive and making the disk drive work. Now, clearly it does work, but it's pretty jank. Like this right here looks like a ribbon cable extender of some sort. I'm not sure if that's what that actually is, but yeah, just something to point out there. We also got this ribbon cable with a extender thing right there as well. So I don't know, kind of jank, but at the same time, it's kind of what I expect for a console like this. But for $450, that's pretty steep, man. Number 5. I bought an Xbox Series X console from AliExpress for only $50, and in this video, we're gonna unbox it, test it out, and see if it's any good. Now, I've come across some weird consoles in the past, you know, anything from a portable PS2 console to a tiny PS5 Slim, but I'm afraid this Xbox Series X might be the strangest one yet. You'll see. Let's get into it. Yo, what a box. Straight green. Let's flip it over and oh my goodness. You've gotta be kidding me. We have the D20 here. Looks exactly like an Xbox Series X. Has even gotten the button here. Actually, that's a knob. Yo, what? And of course, it's got 3D games, 4K Ultra HD, and apparently 15,000 games to play. And then here on the bottom, it says Aurora Green Breath-Breathing Lamp. Whatever that means. It's actually got a better seal on it than the PS5 Pro does. But let's go ahead and, oh, actually, yo, wait, hold on. This is like actually a nice unboxing experience. So you pull it out. It's got foam pieces here. It's got a PS3 controller here, which is just great for our Xbox Series X. Got 2 of them actually. We'll take a closer look here in a second. And then we have our Xbox Series X right here. Yo, this is sick. Why is this packaging so good? Wait, this thing is heavy. What? We'll take a closer look at that in a second. But we also have a little box here. All right, so we have our manual, which I don't care about. Also have a 64 gig SD card, all right, HDMI cable, and our USB-C cable, which I assume is for power. Now, in case you're not aware of the original Xbox Series X unboxing experience, let me just show you here and show you how similar this is. So basically, you open it up and it's got these foam pieces that hold the console in place, just like we did right here. And it even has this little box right here where you hold the accessories, just like this box over in the corner. Honestly, this is great packaging for an AliExpress device. I'm impressed. But all right, box to the side. Let's take a closer look at everything here. So we have our, I guess our Xbox Series X controllers here. They're clearly just like a DualShock 3 or DualShock 2 kind of knockoff. But then to mix things up, we have A, B, X, Y here. Select, start, mode, The sticks are like, they don't feel nice, but they're fine. But let's take a closer look at this thing here, because this is amazing. So it looks just like an Xbox Series X, to be honest, except for these little vent holes in the bottom, which are honestly kind of cool. Now I'm really curious about this wheel right here, which appears to be infinitely scrolling, so you can twist it both ways. I'm not sure if it's for like volume or what, selecting stuff, I don't know. There's also a game button here, a power button / model, whatever that means. And then here on the top, wow, the top is good. It's like concave there. It's got the holes. It's got the green accent inside when you see it at an angle. That's cool, man. I like that. And then, oh, here on the top, you've got the XGO, just like the Xbox Series X logo is up here. Family computer system. Sounds like an NES kind of tagline there. And then here in the back, we have our line in, USB-C for power, I guess, SD card slot, HDMI, and 2 USB ports. This thing is like nice. And here on the bottom, there's the entire bottom piece is a rubber foot. Like, dude, they knocked it out of the park with the design of this. Let me pull out an Xbox Series X and compare. So in terms of scale, this thing is probably about a fourth of the size of the Xbox Series X, and you can see it's the exact same like proportions and shape. You can see our power buttons up here. This also has a little circular button there. They have the similar aesthetic where there's like an Xbox logo up in the corner. This one of course has the XGO logo up in that corner. And then on the back of the console, it's a similar kind of style or layout for your ports. So your ports are all lined up. Now, of course, on here, they're kind of 90 degrees shifted, but we do have similar holes here in the bottom for both consoles. So honestly, very cool. Then the best part is actually the top, where you have the shifting green through the top holes there, as you can see on both consoles. So it's cool how they match that. But guys, let's go ahead and plug this bad boy in and see if it works. All right, guys, console's plugged in. Let's see what this power button here does, if it actually turns it on.
Power on.
Yo, what? Okay, so I just finally held down the power button and it's on. Yo, what is this? It's all in Chinese. I can't read that. It is what? Yo, it just, wait. Hold on. Okay. Let's take a step back here. So first of all, this is indeed a breath-breathing, glowing, whatever lamp they call it, because there's lights coming out the top, which is actually pretty cool. And also, this thing just started playing music out of it. If you try to go too loud, it gives you that awful beeping noise. That's funny. Okay, well, I'm having a time getting this controller connected. It just like will not connect to the system, but I just got my phone connected somehow over Bluetooth, I think. Can I play music? Yeah, I'm playing one of my videos. Hold on, look at this.
Dude, this console I'm telling you, it came from the ocean.
All right, well, I guess we can actually explore this thing now. And first of all, as you can see, we're on Atari games here, but that's the only thing I can tell because I can't read this. Let me see if I can change the language maybe. Yes! Ah, English. Let's go. There we go, baby. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's go back to this main menu. If I can get there somehow. Let's go ahead and scroll through here, though, and explore. So we have list first, which I guess is just a list of all 1,500 or 15,000 games. And then I would assume classes sorted by different types of consoles, but I guess not. Just 9 games. Then we have history, which is interesting considering I haven't played at all. So somebody else I guess was playing this for 19 games worth. Like, did they send me a used Xbox Series X little mini console thing? Then also collection and search. All right, let's go to list and I'll just scroll through and try to find some good stuff, I guess. I mean, so far they do appear to be in alphabetical order in terms of their arcade games. I'm just trying to get to another console. I just gotta keep scrolling, I guess. Dude, what is this garbage? Let me search. Let's just search for Mario maybe and see what pops up. I search Mario and we have armed police betrayer. If the search functionality doesn't work, why is it here? There we go. So I finally found some Super Mario games. We got 2, 3. We should have 1 here as well. And of course, you can see at the top it says FC for Famicom now. So we finally found some non-arcade games. Let's go ahead and just boot up, I guess, Super Mario Bros. 2. There's like 10 different versions, but we'll just do this one right here. And yeah, sure enough, the sound works for the game output through their console here, which is, honestly, that's cool. Get some, boy. So guys, I'm back in the main menu and we finally made it. I scrolled for like 10 minutes and got down to the 7,944th game and we're finally on Famicom games. Just like absurd. This is how I have to sort through here. Let's go ahead and scroll through and see what's on here. Wow, we have Hard Blood. Jackie Chan Kicks the Pavilion. That can't be the real name. Hold on, what? Jackie Chan Kicks the Pavilion. Yeah, I definitely don't see a game called Jackie Chan Kicks the Pavilion, but oh, okay. And that's the best part about these consoles is they just have absurd names for every game on here, like 16-channel truck. it's Route 16. Big Eye Frog Square, my favorite. Big Nose Primitive, Big Nose the Caveman. Okay, that's actually a real game, but Boy and His Snowman. What? The boy in his blob goes to boy in his snowman? Come on, man. You know, all things considered, honestly, the names in these Famicom games are not that bad. So let's keep scrolling and get to the Super Famicom games, as I would assume would be next. Yo, they included the controller test cassette. Hold on, let's boot this up. Let's see how this runs. Yo, that's actually sick. Wait. Oh, the best part is all the games on here are backwards. So we have our Y. which actually matches up with Y. We have B, A, and X. Yeah, those are just in the wrong spots because we have a PlayStation controller with the Xbox buttons on a Nintendo system, basically. Like, absurd. Let's boot up to Donkey Kong Country 2 here and play a little bit and just make sure it runs fine. You know, you would assume it does. I mean, it's Super Nintendo games trying to run on hardware 30 years later, so you would hope this emulates it fine, but I'll test it out. Yeah, surprise, the Super Nintendo game runs fine, and I'm dead again. But let's go back and check out some more games. Now, guys, next up we have Mega Drive here. As you can see, not quite as many games. Actually, hold on. These are not even in alphabetical order this time. We got Zombie College, then we got Light and Darkness, then Bright Power 1. Wait, Shining Forces, Light Power. All of these are awful. Stimpy's Invention is Rabbit Adventures. How do they get these? Alien Double Stupid. Big Melee. Big Bucket. RBI Baseball 4 is called Dot Baseball 4. Dude, I just don't get it. What Fruit Philippine Dog? Goofy, you just got so disrespected, bro. What? Fruit Philippine Dog. I'm sorry, what does that mean? They call the Pink Panther Pink Silly Leopard Hollywood Adventure. that's kind of accurate, but like... Alright guys, now finally on to the Game Boy Advance games, which is next. So let's go ahead and scroll through here and see what's on here, see how it runs, and see if we can find any more weird names. Wait, what is this? A task that cannot be done. What is this? Mission Impossible. Dude, that's so good. They had so many games in a row that were like perfectly fine. Like look at this. Let's go back. And you can see all these are just mostly normal. Army Men Advance, Army Men Operation Green, whatever. These are at least close enough, right? And then all of a sudden you got a serious. I noticed that one. And also a task that cannot be done. Oh, wait. Back to the classic Frog Crossing the River. Dude, every time there's a Frogger game, they call it Frog Crossing the River. It's hilarious. But other than that, most of these are actually like pretty accurate names, at least close. Wait, Rugrats is called Little Naughty. I want to attend the banquet. Yo, they're calling Rugrats. I gotta go party. I want to attend the banquet, dude. And next up we got Game Boy, like original Game Boy. So let's go scroll through here. Now we're on to Game Boy Color. So not very many Game Boy Color games, but oh, here we go. We got PlayStation games. So I'm curious how these run because I mean it's PlayStation. Usually that doesn't emulate so well on these random crappy devices that come from like AliExpress and stuff. So let's try out. Ooh, Toy Story 2. Here we go. Let's try this one. Oh my goodness. Let's go. What a jump by Buzz Lightyear. But yeah, guys, playing around a little bit, this game's actually running perfectly fine. Usually when I play PS1 games on these devices, they just don't work that great. But let's go back and try another game like maybe Silent Hill. Usually that runs like crap when I try to test that out. So let's go ahead and see how this runs. You got a friend in me. So honestly playing this for like 10 seconds, it's already running a whole lot better than these other emulation devices I've run in the past. Like I got a PS5 Slim from T-Mobile in the past and tried to run PS1 games, and it was like stuttering like crazy. The frames are dropping like crazy. The sound is all crackly. This actually sounds fine. It looks, fine. So actually, it's pretty solid. But there it is, guys. That's all the software features here. This thing, honestly, like as cool as this is, the software awful. Like it took me forever to scroll through any of these games. So guys, you know what we have to do next. We got to turn this thing off, open it up, and see what the inside looks like. So I'm pretty excited to get into this thing because there's a lot going on with this console. So there should be some interesting stuff inside. But are there screws anywhere? Hold on. Ah, there we go. All right, it's popping up from the corner there on the back. Let me go ahead and see if I can get this all the way off. There we go. All right, it's popping out, and oh boy, what in the world? Okay, so I guess our main circuit board is attached to that backplane there. As you can see, we've got a massive capacitor there. What in the world? All right, so wires attached. The first thing you really notice here is our Rock chip RK3036G, which I looked it up, and the processor is from 2017. Looks like it's just a standard processor that you see in a lot of little computer applications like this. And then, of course, here in the bottom, you have another wire going to our two USB ports on the back. But guys, I like this design. It's kind of clever how the circuit board is mounted to the backplane. But let's go ahead and put that to the side and take a look at the inside of this thing. So first thing I really want to look at is our top piece here. So there is just basically one little, actually looks like a 3D printed just see-through green there up top. And then right below it is a few LEDs, which you might can see right in there. But next thing you notice back there is another circuit board, which just mounts to the front and has our, our three buttons right here. And then right below that, we have our big boy speaker right here, which is impressive how large this thing is, and honestly kind of explains why it sounds pretty solid. Like it's a pretty good speaker. I'd say it's on par with most other just average Bluetooth speakers on the market. And then coming down further, we actually see why this thing is so heavy now. We have a couple of just weighted plates down here to hold it down, and that makes sense so it doesn't knock over very easily. But guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to pick one of these up, I'll put the link down below for sale. Honestly, this is the first one of these like knockoff devices I would actually recommend picking up because it's pretty cool. But guys, I'll see you next time. Number 4. So there I was, doom scrolling on TikTok, when out of nowhere, I noticed an Xbox Series S console being sold for $90, a whole $280 cheaper than a normal Xbox Series S. So of course I bought it, and in this video, we're gonna unbox it, test it out, and see if it's a huge scam like all the other consoles I've gotten from TikTok. Wait, hold on now, hold on. Why does that look so legit? No way, dude. The bag is exactly the same. Wait, why is it chopped in half? Holy crap. Let's open it up and see what's inside. Wait, no way, guys. It even opens up exactly like a Series S and a Series X, which is just insane. We have an SD card here. We have a remote for something. What, huh? What is this for? And then we have our Series S. There's no shot. We'll take a look at that in a second. Also got some controllers in here, which actually looks pretty close to an Xbox controller. You get your A, B, X, Y here, and it feels like, honestly, better than it should. It has the grips here on the handles like some Xbox Series X controllers have, and the joysticks feel fine. No, those things are horrible. Wait, what? Ew. There's like little ridges on the side that just feel wrong, and the buttons are super shallow, and it's very lightweight. This thing weighs like an ounce. Other than that, just a bunch of random cords. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at the Series S itself now, and guys, I'm not ready, you're not ready. Let's go ahead and take a look at this thing. Wow, there's no shot. I'm at a loss for words. What is this thing? You can see here on the front, what I assume is the front, we have what appears to be like a power button or a receiver or something there. It doesn't actually press in though, so maybe it's not a button. And of course on the top we have our grate here that looks exactly like a Series S. And on the side, a couple USB ports. On the back, HDMI, AV, DC, LAN, standard stuff. And of course this side looks exactly like a Series S again. But guys, let's go ahead and compare the size of this thing to a real Series S and see what the difference is. Okay guys, so here it is. The Xbox Series S and the Xbox Series S. And what do I say? This thing is tiny and it's, I don't know, I guess it's kind of cute. But all right guys, let's go ahead and plug this thing in, turn it on, see what it can do, and see if it can play some Xbox games. Let's find out. Okay guys, I'm trying to plug this thing in, but I'm having an issue. Let me just show you closer up because it's kind of funny. Okay guys, so I got a power strip under my desk here, as you can see, and usually I plug in all my console stuff here, and let me show you what happens when I plug this one in. It just, yeah, it's so cheap and so thin, it doesn't even stick in the power port there. I've legitimately never had this issue before. But guys, you know we got a solution. We got some contractor grade tape here. Go ahead and stick it onto our power port, and yeah, it's good to go. So let's go ahead and plug this bad boy in, and hopefully it actually works. Also, by the way, gotta install my SD card here. Let's see if that fits. It does. Now let's go ahead and plug in our power and see if this thing turns on or if there's a power button somewhere. I don't see any lights. I don't see any power. Oh, there it goes. Your name, gamer. What kind of boot screen is that? Like, oh, by the way, the light is on now. It's blue. Kind of wish that was green to match the Xbox aesthetic, but it's something. And it's just flashing on screen. Let me just try the handy dandy plug her back in, and come on, man, are we already having issues? This is insane. Oh, let's go. After unplugging it and plugging it back in 3 times with the power and the HDMI, it is finally up, and this is frankly one of the weirdest home screens I've ever seen. What is this even? Does this play games? Wait, hold on. Can we acknowledge the fact that it says Zoku as in Roku, but come on now. Let's go ahead and try to scroll around though and see what this thing does. So I got our Zoku, YouTube, Netflix, Google Play, Chrome. Also got gaming here, so we should have some games. Let's go ahead and, I guess, start with that and see if that'll load up. Again, we have the Your Name Gamer monkey there with what? A controller covering his eyes. Okay, booted up here, guys. We finally have some games. We got PSP, PlayStation, Nintendo 64. We got MAME, Capcom, Atomy Switch. What? How is there a new console on this thing every time? These things every time that I've never heard of. Atomy Swave. That's a new one. Super Nintendo Arcade, Nintendo Hack. Okay, well that's cool. They actually call them Nintendo Hack games instead of mixing them in. Game Boy Color, Genesis, Neo Geo, PlayStation again. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with, you know what? Let's start with the Atomy Wave. You know what? Let's start with the Atomy Wave here. I guess that's what it's called. And we have the Photon's Jijusuka GGX15 Cove 7 Sport Rumble F. Like, you guys can't call it the real name. You got to put an abbreviation here. Whatever. Let's try out Dolphin here. Dolphin. What is that? Dolphin Blue. Let's boot it up and try to figure out what this thing is. Okay, it's an arcade game. We got insert coins here. How do I insert coins? Okay, whatever I did got us some coins here, but that's creepy. I don't want to play this game anymore. Let's go back to mode. What does this mode do here? We got mode here, and it does nothing. Okay, cool. Select, start, anything. Can I do something? All right, there we go. We're back here. Let's go ahead and next up try out. I don't know, Super Nintendo's a good thing to start with, and I'm actually surprised there's no NES on here. Wait, hold on. I don't know if I've ever seen one of these devices not have NES. I guess there's Nintendo Hack here, but is that only hacked games and not real NES games? And so far, so yeah, it's definitely hacked games. 150 and 1, 1200 and 1, 115 and 1, 110 and 1, 11 and 1 ball games. My favorite. Oh, never mind, more. 54 and 1, 58 and 1, 64 and 1, 68 and 1, 6 and 1, 6 and 1, 6 and 1, 7 and 1, 1, 7, 7, 2, 1, 1, 7, 7, 20, 76, 78, 88, 89, 88, 8 eyes. Now next I want to get into some N64, PSP, PlayStation, and see how those games run. But first, I want to go back again and try out the rest of this I want to go back and try out the rest of the console and see what this stuff can do. So first of all, let me hop into our settings here and see what it lets us do here. And it looks like, oh, it's just Android. Okay, it's just an Android device. That makes sense. Let's go back and check out our apps here and see if there's any other apps on here other than what's on the main page. Got Chrome, Music, Play Store, Droid settings. Wait, this is a, what? Hold on. Did they toss like an old Droid phone in here? What? I don't know what that means. But we've got Game, YouTube, File Browser, App Installer, Update, Movie Player, Zoku TV. We've got this guy, X5 Store, Clap, Netflix? Forget Netflix and chill. This is Netflix and clap. Airscreen, Netflix, Zoku. Okay, all right, let's try out this thing here. What is this guy? It looks like a Hobbit. Okay, guys, we booted up, and first of all, I can't do anything. Like, I can't scroll up and down. I can't select anything. Nothing was happening. I can't use this remote either. And also, I should show you the translation because it's very interesting. It says, face fate, head on, new reincarnation, adjust the interest rate, and rest, change your eyes, and fight again. Yes, that definitely makes sense. All right, cool. Let's try to adjust our interest rate. Apparently not. It's literally just completely frozen. What is this thing doing, dude? All right, let's unplug it and plug it back in again for the 8th time and try to do something else. Maybe. Please. All right, guys, we're back. I couldn't tell you what happened, but we're back. Let's just gloss over that and go back to the apps and see what else is on this thing. Okay, so we got to try out Netflix and clap, right, and see what that loads up. Hopefully it doesn't freeze again, but we'll see what this does. And, oh, it needs network connection. Okay. Okay, I click try again, and now it wants me to just type. What am I typing? What? Seriously, what is going on? Now Netflix and clap won't even open. Dude, you can't make this stuff up. All right, guys, back to the games. Forget that other stuff. Let's go to N64 next and see if this thing can play some N64 games. First of all, let's see what N64 games are on here. Wow, they gave me real names. Wow, Army Men, Asteroids, what? Automobile Lamborghini. That's a real name. Okay. Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, Banjo Your Mom. Heck yeah, let's boot up Bug's Life. See what that does. Okay, let's boot it up here. We have no sound though. I wonder if I have to control the sound with this thing. Not sure where the sound is, but the game seems to be running fine so far. Yo, I can throw tomatoes at the grasshoppers? Let's go. That's hype. Okay, well, it just broke. I am infinitely moving sideways and I can't adjust directions. I don't know if that's an emulation fault or if that's the fault of the game. I also can't press start, select, stop, anything. I think everything is just frozen. Can I go home? I can go home. Okay. All right. That workaround worked. Now the controller. Is the controller dead? What? Controller has stopped working, so let's go ahead and move on to this controller. We can now play games with this. I guess that's our only option. Let's try out another N64 game here and see if it'll work. Gotta try the classic, of course, Super Mario 64, and see if this will boot up and load. And nope, it just takes me right back to Flick here. What the heck, man? I'll boot it up here, but there's no start button on this remote, so I can't actually start. So back to the controller. Hopefully it'll work this time. And what do you know? It doesn't. It's just, come on, man. This is driving me mad. Wait, oh, it's working again. Let's go. Hype. Okay, let's go back, play some Mario 64 and see if it... Okay, it was lagging so much that it thought I pressed the first game. Come on. Dude, I can't get away from this jank. Okay, guys, so the game is working, but the analog stick is not a full analog stick, like 360 degrees. It's just like an eight-way directional analog stick. As you can see, I got these really sharp directions, and I can't really control where I'm running very well, which is super jank, especially in this game where it's like, I don't know, the precise movement is pretty critical. And look, I'm just falling in the water because I can't precisely control where I'm going. That could be a setting, and also... It's just broken again. No, dude. Okay, so not only is it an 8-way directional stick, it also got stuck again where it's just like I can't do anything. It's frozen. You can see I'm rotating. It's the exact same situation as I was with Flick in A Bug's Life where I was rotating or going in one direction and I can't stop, and now it's just stuck forever. This is absurd. I can't get more than 5 minutes into a game without it doing some crap like this. This is just stupid. All right, guys, well, back to the main menu. Let's go to the PSP next and see what's on here and see if we can play some games. And we got some, wow, some real names here. That's good to see. Wait, what? Okay, so I was going to try NBA 2K13, but there's a few problems here. First of all, it has the NBA 2K19 cover. And second of all, I was going to try it because, like, what? Back to FIFA Street 2. Dude, come on. You can't... Usually you press start and select to get back to the main menu, but you can't do that on PSP games apparently. So I guess I just gotta unplug this thing and plug it back in because I can't exit out of the game without doing that. So that's great. All right, here we go. Let's see if it's actually NBA 2K19 on the PSP. That would huh? It just showed NBA 2K19 on the screen. What was that? Game itself is clearly 2K13 though, but let's go ahead and see how it plays. Ooh, okay, the sound is really crackly. It's honestly running a little bit better than it was in FIFA Street 2, but to be fair, it is a PSP game. Dude, that's 3 seconds in the key. Get out. Oh my gosh, it's so laggy. I started pressing the shoot button and it took a whole 15 seconds. The laggy button works though. I got a 3. let's go. All right, that's enough. Let's go back, and I got to use this remote to go back because I can't go back in PSP games without this remote, which is just awesome. What is our other games here? I'm losing my mind. PlayStation? Yeah, there we go. Let's try out some PS1 games. And I think I'll try out Tekken 3. Seems like a decent game to try and see if it's dropping frames, see how it runs. Wow, what do you know, guys? The game's running perfectly fine. I got Yoshi here beating up on a name I can't pronounce, but we're about to hit one more let's go. But yeah, anyways, back to Earth here. The sounds fine. The game's running fine here. I don't know. This thing's fine for 90 bucks or whatever. Let's go ahead and turn it off, take it apart though, and see what the inside looks like because it's something's wrong here. Let's open it up. Okay, screws are off, and also the sticker is cut here. Let's go ahead and see how do I get this off. There's like no easy way to take the bottom piece off. There we go. All right, pops off there, and wow, we see a circuit board here that looks like a circuit board. I don't see any more screws here, so I should be able to just kind of pry this thing out, I think. Hopefully. All right, and there it comes. So, wow, that's interesting. So the top piece is literally just the Xbox Series S top piece with a little piece of metal and a freaking giant thermal pad there. That thing is a thick boy, man. What in the world? And here on the board, you can see 2 chips there, which I'll try to get them at an angle so you can read the model numbers if you want to and look them up, but I'm not going to go over them here in the video. But you can see those there. And otherwise, looks like a pretty standard circuit board there. But yeah, there you have it, guys. This console is pretty interesting physically, but software kind of sucks. Number 3. I bought the world's smallest GameCube, which is supposedly 90% smaller than a regular GameCube. And so in this video, we're going to unbox it, test it out, tear it down, and see if this thing is even real. All right, guys. Ooh, we got a nice little GameCube Nano Pelican case here. And dude, this thing is tiny. I mean, just for initial reference, you can see the Pelican case is actually not much larger than the GameCube itself. So I can't imagine how small this GameCube Nano is. But let's check it out and see what's inside. You guys are not ready for this. Oh my goodness. This thing is absurdly small. There is no way this is real. There's no way this thing works. I mean, look at this. It's the size of my eyeball. It fits in the palm of my hand. The photos and video do not do it justice. It's smaller in person. Holy crap, that's tiny. Now, guys, I wanted to know why it's so impressive this thing is tiny, and it's because it's not emulation. This is real hardware inside. There's no Raspberry Pi. It's not like emulating games on your phone or PC or whatever. There is a real trimmed down Wii motherboard supposedly inside of this thing running natively GameCube games. We'll get back to that in a second. Let's see what else is in this package here. So we've got our sticker, Crazy Gadget Mods, who is the guy that made this thing. So if you want to contact him and get one for yourself, go ahead and check that out. Also got a charging cable, brick. Oh, and these are how you connect controllers to this device, which we'll get into later. But guys, let's go ahead and take a closer look at this little tiny miniature device, and we'll start by comparing it to a real GameCube. And yeah, definitely about 90% smaller. You can even see the front details are about the same with 4 controller ports, 2 memory cards. Clearly this one is 3D printed because that's what you have to do with these small custom devices. And even the top looks the same. We actually have all 3 buttons here. Wait, hold on. Do these buttons work? They look like they might. We'll have to test those. That's actually awesome. And then flipping to the back, you can see we even have our little handle here so you can make it portable. You could straight up put this on a keychain, man. It's so small. And also, oh, I forgot, this thing's got HDMI out. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Let's put the GameCube to the side now and take a closer look at this device. And yeah, we got HDMI out, a USB-C port here for our power. Also have a heatsink in there, so I assume our fan. Okay, so actually there's a fan on the bottom. So fan probably sucks in air and pushes it out the back. Also got some rubber feet on the bottom so it doesn't, slide around on the table. And then here on the sides we have our vents. Dude, it looks just like a GameCube. This is amazing. I mean, the only thing it's missing is the 2 rubber feet on these little indentations right here, which would have been, I don't know, that would have been next level. Now guys, I just wanted to know something here that I somehow missed. Apparently the rubber feet on the bottom of this GameCube are the exact same rubber feet as the bottom of the Wii. I mean, you can see the size and shape and everything matches up perfectly. Now obviously these rubber feet are from a black Wii and this is a white Wii, but that's just an awesome little touch. But man, this thing is crazy. Let's go ahead and test out these buttons and see if this disc tray actually opens. Will it? Oh, it doesn't, but it's a button. And I also wanted to mention we even have the player number dots above the controller ports here for player 1, 2, 3, and 4. Just a nice little touch there as well. And guys, just for some more size comparisons here, let me just show you how small this thing is. So it's only about 2.5 inches wide. And then we have a Switch Lite here, which looks humongous compared to this thing, just absurd. Also an Xbox Series X controller. You can, it speaks for itself. And then of course we have to compare it to my custom portable GameCube console here, which is already, I feel like, fairly small. And then you just got this thing that brings it to another level. And then of course our monstrous 8-inch screen portable PS2 device, which is just like 1,000% larger than this thing. Like what do I say, man? All right, guys, let's go ahead and plug this bad boy in though and see if it's real, see if it actually works. I don't trust it, but let's try it out. On one hand, I actually think it would have been cool to eliminate the adapters and just do one giant port right here for one controller. Just a thought there, but let's go ahead and plug these things in and see if this thing turns on. All right, let's test out our power, and oh, yo, it's got an orange light. Yes, it matches up perfectly, dude. That's crazy, man. it's got a custom boot animation too. Hold up. That's just absurd, but it looks like we have RV Loader here, which is essentially the software that people use for custom consoles like this, portable consoles, that sort of thing. So no surprise there. And as you can see, we've got a bunch of different tabs. We have like our home, GameCube games, we got Wii games, virtual console games, which I just selected there. Nothing loaded up yet, but man, this fan, little tiny fan is going crazy, which is not surprising. You got to cool this little tiny thing. Which, like, just to mention, how is there a PCB small enough to fit in this side of this thing and run a GameCube? Like, I think he trimmed down a Wii motherboard to fit in here. A Wii motherboard is inside this thing, guys. A Wii motherboard. Hold on, guys. This is a Wii. The Wii motherboard is inside of there. But let's go ahead and test out a game to start with. We'll try out the GameCube game. We got Kirby Air Ride. We got Monkey Ball 2. We also got Super Smash Bros. Melee, which we'll try that out. And sure enough, we are booted up here to the main menu. We'll go ahead and boot into a match and play around a little bit. Now, the one thing I'll say, I mentioned this earlier, but the one downside here is the fan's actually really loud. So like you got to turn your volume up pretty high to like just kind of drown out the fan noise, which again, understandable for how small this thing is. But let's go ahead and let's go with our classic DK oldies. DK oldies. Oh, here we go. That's what I'm talking about. No. And guys, remember, you are looking at a GameCube right here. This came out in 2001, and like this HDMI output looks really good. And I have not even messed with the settings, so there might be something to make it look even better. I'm not quite sure. We'll mess with that in a little bit, but yeah, this is very impressive for a 2001 console. So yeah, let's go back to the main RV Loader menu here, though. Let's go ahead and try the reset button and see if that actually does a reset. It works, dude. That's just the icing on the cake is the functional buttons that actually work. Now, what happens if I press the eject button? Does that do anything? I guess it's just there for show. All right. But now back to RV Loader. Let's go ahead and check out the settings and see if it has some more details here that we can check out. We got different themes here, I believe. Okay, actually, we got a new background now. It's a little bluish background. And now the rest of the settings are pretty basic. You have a controller buttons tester, which is, pretty self-explanatory. Also, status says MX chip detected, which is the chip on a Wii motherboard. And then the about is just kind of some about details. Let's go ahead and check out the rest of these channels, though, and see if anything is preloaded here. Hey, we got Mario Kart Wii. Let's go. Let me see if I can boot this up and actually play it with a GameCube controller. Dude, this is so goofy, playing Wii games on a tiny little GameCube. I mean, this thing's like 2 inches wide. I mean, like, this is real hardware we're playing on right now, guys. The only difference is there are no discs, so we're playing off an SD card. Now, guys, speaking of SD cards, I am curious where the SD card goes in this slot. I don't know if you have to take the whole console apart to get to it, because I don't see a spot anywhere. I would assume, actually, thinking about it, I would assume if I plug my USB-C cable into my computer, I could actually access the SD card or internal memory. So let's try that next. All right, yes, loading it up. You can see it pops up as GameCube Nano here, and you can see all of our standard folders for apps, channels, RV Loader, all that kind of stuff. So you can come in here and load up, Wii games, GameCube games, Wii channels, virtual console games, all that kind of stuff. I'm not gonna show you how to do that because there are plenty of tutorials out there on how to do that, but yeah, just another functionality to show here. Now, guys, next up, we gotta take this thing apart. We gotta see if there's a Wii motherboard inside, because I still don't quite believe it. There's just no shot there's a Wii motherboard in here. But let's go ahead and try to open it up and see what's actually inside. There are 2 screws here on the back. Does that hold the whole thing together? I guess so. Let's try it. Yes, there we go. Aw, nice. There it is, baby. And boy, that's crazy. Clearly very tight because there's just not much space in there, but you got wires flying everywhere. We've got our Wii coin battery there. We, of course, have our 4 controller adapter ports right there. Now, this piece right here seems to be a custom board with our power, our SD card right there, and then some leads over to our other side, which, yeah, that definitely is the Wii motherboard. You can see right there, that's pretty clearly a cut of a PCB down there. There's also another piece of the Wii motherboard right there, which is just the MX chip, and they're actually just wired together, which is just kind of wild to see. Now, to give you a little more context into this process, I wanted to show you some B-roll on the screen of Crazy Gadget himself cutting down a Wii motherboard, and you can see he's basically just got a Wii motherboard and a Dremel, and he's going at it. It's a pretty tedious process and also a bit scary. And yeah, other than that, there are a few pieces down below it. I'm not going to try to take it apart because I do not want to break this thing. This is an expensive piece of machinery, which, by the way, let's address the $1,000 thing here. That's because of the R&D that goes into this, the amount of time it takes to assemble this and cut this motherboard. That is a very intensive process. I forgot what they call this trim, but it's like the Super Omega trim or something like that, because it's crazy. Like, again, you trimmed it down from this to that. Now, does all that work justify the $1,000 price tag? Maybe. I'll leave that up to you guys. It kind of depends if you're into this niche product. But guys, thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Number 2. I bought one of the weirdest portable devices I've ever seen on Temu, and in this video, we're gonna unbox it, test it out, tear it down, and see if it was worth the 50 bucks I paid for it. Now here's the thing, guys. I've gotten some wild stuff on Temu in the past, like this weird portable PS2 thing, or this PS5 Slim, but guys, I think this thing takes the cake. Let me show you. So this thing's honestly bigger than I thought it would be, and oh my goodness. It's real. There's no way. It protects your eyes somehow, and it has a quad core something. I don't know what this thing is. Let's open it up and see what's inside. You gotta be kidding me. All right, so first of all, they sent me the wrong one. I mean, this one actually, it looks pretty sick. It's a transparent version, but I ordered the all black version. I'll show you on the screen. So like classic Temu stuff, sending me the wrong thing. But guys, at first glance, low key, this thing is kind of sick. I mean, it's got the whole transparent vibe of like the late 90s, early 2000s. Hopefully it lights up. I hope it lights up. That'll be sick. But first of all, we have this Furious X logo, which is actually pretty sick for a cheap device like this. Then we have some analog sticks here, which feels suspiciously like a Nintendo Switch analog stick. I'll have to do some comparisons later. Also got a, wow, that's a really crappy D-pad. We've got some menu buttons, start, select, volume buttons, and then these things. Dude, what is this? These are like 3D printed buttons. And also, why are there 6 buttons? But there's no triggers or anything. There's also a little, there's a little hole there so you can string your cable through and plug it into the actual ports down there, which is, that's a nice little touch. Also guys, looking at those ports back there, you can see there's a USB-C port for charging. I guess that's our power switch there. Our auxiliary jack for, I guess, sound, and maybe our this AV out right here. There's also a mini USB port right there. I'm not sure what that's for. Maybe transferring files. No idea. And then of course an SD card there, I guess, to store the random games they put on here. And here in the back, we've got what appears to be a rechargeable battery down inside of the case. And I would assume here is a light up wheel or maybe some speakers or something. But guys, let's go ahead and peel this little screen protector off. If it'll actually come off. Wow, that's, wait, I saw the screen was flexing as I pulled that off. That's not a good sign. Oh no, it's the cheapest screen of all time. You can see when I press it, just like, oh man, that's not great. We'll of course open this thing up later and take a look at the inside and see what this thing is actually made of. But guys, let's start with some comparisons here because this thing, it takes a lot from other consoles. Let me show you. Now guys, first of course we have to compare it to our portable PS2 from AliExpress here, and this thing is a mammoth, as you can see, in terms of thickness and just pure size. It's got an 8-inch screen, and this one here is actually, I mean, it gets close to it because of the whole wheel aspect, which by the way, like, this is a wheel. Did I even mention that? Like, it's a wheel. Like, can you turn this thing while you're playing a racing game? We'll test it out, of course, but that's just a wild thing to think about. But yeah, next up we'll compare it to our another portable PS2. This one actually came from Temu here, and this thing was very interesting. And wait, hold on, this thing's called an S10. Wasn't this called an S10? Oh, it's a Furious SU10. What does that even mean? I don't know, man, but you can see here the sizing is similar, and of course also no triggers on this portable PS2 thing either. I don't know, this thing was really weird. And we got our little mini Xbox Series X just for a size comparison. You can see this thing's actually a lot larger than the Series X here. And then of course our Nintendo Switch right here, our Switch Lite, and you can see the analog sticks are pretty much exactly the same. Yeah, they are like literally the same size, same feel, everything. They're probably third party, like not OEM sticks, but regardless, interesting. And we should also measure the screen size, which appears to be about 3.5 inches. Okay, that's pretty large. But guys, I think it's time. Let's go ahead and turn this bad boy on. We'll go ahead and flip the power switch here, and hopefully, oh baby, we got a power light there. Welcome, no, it's a, what is this? Okay, but it boots up pretty fast. We actually have a battery indicator in the top right-hand corner, which is pretty nice. So you can see how much battery you have left. We have Capcom CPS, we've got Nintendo Famicom, we got Game Boy, GBA, GBC, got MAME, Mega Drive, NES. I think this thing said it could play PS1 games, so maybe that's on here somewhere. It says SMD here, but it shows an Xbox Series X controller. That makes sense. Oh, and our Sega SMC shows a Switch. And yeah, by the way, I'm looking at the listing and it does advertise. It actually advertises a Nintendo 64 controller, a Nintendo DS as well, I think, and a PlayStation logo, but it can't play any of those things, which is not surprising. Oh, also the screen is off. Oh, it just goes to sleep after like 2 seconds. It also came with 2 random photos here. Veer by iStock and Love. Also have an ebook that, yeah, I can definitely read that. My female classmate and her cousin invited me to dinner. I don't know how to make the following mistake. Thank you. I have no sexual desire recently. You should eat more. At the time, the big cases were all sprayed. Whoa, that was 0 to 100 real quick. Hold on, we gotta see some more of this stuff. What is this? What? Okay, so I found another one that says, at this time a player rushed to answer. The host said, this classmate is too anxious. I started, poop is still in the mouth. Why did you grab it? Why'd you grab it? What? There's gotta be some translation errors here, right? Like, I hope so. It says, once when I was driving, the female colleague sitting next to me suddenly asked, why do you drive without a That's enough. Let's move on. We got videos. Oh boy, I can't. Based on those ebooks, I can't imagine our videos are gonna be very. What is this? Philips and video.mp4. Dude, those are super sketchy. It's almost like when I saw that original Xbox that had very discrete names, but you clicked on them and opened them up, and it had stuff. But let's open it up. So we got Philips here. It looks like it's an advertisement for Philips, like the brand, and it's just airplanes. Okay. Now this one is really sus. Video.mp4, like, or maybe not. Finest detail, just random scenery. Okay. But all right, guys, let's go back and try to actually play some games or see what's on this thing. So let's start with Game Boy Advance here. Open this bad boy up. I love how the loading screen is so low res, and then we got this. This interface is not bad. It's not. It could be worse. But it looks like we have about 1 million games here. Let me actually go ahead and try to plug this thing into the AV out so you guys can see this a little bit better on the screen. Let me see if that works. Okay, it's plugged in. We'll turn our output on. And oh, yo, it works. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Oh no, it's a horrible cable. Oh no, it's flickering like crazy. Of course, guys, we're gonna try to find a racing game at some point so I can try to race with our racing wheel. Like, why is this a wheel? I don't know, man, but let's go. Let's keep scrolling through here. I'm sure we'll find some weird names on here because, guys, I always find strange names on these weird Chinese devices. A task that cannot be done. What is this? Mission Impossible. 396 to 471 GBA. What is this game? It's Ice Age? Excuse me? What? How does that name translate to Ice Age in any way? I can't make this stuff up, man. Yep, it's Ice Age, and by the way, the sound is like 50% static. Wait, hold on, I just realized we're playing a Game Boy Advance game, but there's no triggers on this thing. Do I have to press? Oh no, I just realized this is our right and left triggers are right here. You gotta be kidding me. So if I want to press the trigger button, I gotta hold it and then press like A or something like this. I mean, I guess it's playable, but dude, that's absurd. Also, what am I doing here? I just keep running into this stupid. Let's go back, man. There is a menu button, which is kind of nice. Oh, here we go, F1 2002. Let's see if this wheel will work. Now, I don't see anything on the inside that would point to like a potentiometer or something like for steering or however the wheels work. But let's go ahead and see. Yo, Ferrari? Heck yeah. Okay, here we go. I'm turning, and it's doing, wait, the wheel's working. Hold up. It might just be a Game Boy Advance thing, because this is like, oh, this is super jank. Wow, I'm just spinning out like every time. Yeah, I'm just kidding. I was just holding down the analog stick as I was turning, because yeah, of course, this doesn't work. What? It just kind of pisses me off, because like, why is this thing in the shape of a steering wheel, but you can't actually use it for steering in any form or fashion? Let's try out this right here, our Switch. Let's try out our Switch games. Wait, we have Beavis and Butthead here, and we have Beavis and Butt Dash Head. We're just pumping the numbers here, I guess. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea what SMC stands for. Like, it's Sega Master something, but I don't think that's what it is. Also, we got Super Star Wars and stuff, so it seems like Super Nintendo games, but I'm not quite sure. Yeah, sure enough, that's Super Star Wars, and it looks like, looking it up, it was only on the Super Nintendo, so like, what? Did they just call it SMC for the file name? That's so weird, man. So I don't know, what's under Sega Mega Drive here? Pokemon 1 Unofficial on the Sega Mega Drive. Pocket Monsters, woo. I mean, yeah, it's a game. Wow, that's a scary Pikachu. What in the heck?
There's a lot to see in this life. Not wasting it here.
It's got Crash Bandicoot. What? What? It just booted up Tasmania. What game did it select? They're calling Crash Bandicoot Tasmania. Then under the Super Famicom, there's not even any Mario games. I don't understand this device at all. But it looks like we have almost 2,500 NES games. There's no way there's not repeats in here. I'm sure there's like a million repeats, and I don't think there's even 2,500 NES games in existence. That can't be real. Sex Paw Racing by Ryan. It would add to the whole theme of this console so far, so it's just RC Pro-Am. What? Oh, okay, yeah, it's called Sex Paw What? There's no way this is real. Okay, apparently it's a real ROM hack. All right, I don't know what Sex Pot means, but let's, can I drive? Wow, he's turning. I give up. So we can try Game Boy Color here and see if these games are accurate at all. There's a Disneyland Game Boy Color game? What? There's Tetris. Nice. Monsters Inc. Let's go. Let's play this one. Now, I will say it's running the games fine, which is good to see. It shouldn't be surprising, though, considering these are 90s and 2000s games for the most part. So, yeah, guys, I don't know what else to do with this console. The device said it was two-player. Like, how do I support handle connection for two people? How do I play with two people here? I don't know. Also, what patented private model product for racing steering wheel? But guys, I think it's time to open this thing up and see what's happening on the inside of this thing because, yeah, for obvious reasons. Let's open it up. Oh no, I broke the warranty seal. They're gonna get mad at me. Dude, no way. In addition to screws, there are clips all around this thing. There's probably like 10 clips. How am I gonna, I don't know if I can pry this thing open, but we'll try. All right, I think all the clips are off and it actually came apart better than I thought it would. And oh, wow, nice. It separates cleanly. You do not see that very often. And also, hold on. I just noticed the mini USB port says gamepad next to it. Gamepad? First thing I think of is a Wii U gamepad, which makes no sense. Second thing I think of is can you connect one of these gamepads to another one and do two-player? Because like I said here, support handle connection for two people. But let's keep tearing down. All right, so first thing you see is our battery here. I can't quite tell if that's just a weird shaped battery or if it already is bulging. I don't know, it just doesn't have a very clear shape, and you can see it just, yeah, that looks like a bulging battery. That's sketchy. And it's just got a couple crappy solder points to the board here. You can see this one's barely hanging on. Like it's hanging on for dear life. I could almost pull that off. And then of course our speaker down there, nothing too special. Also got an SD card up here, which I can finally actually pull out. It just says 32 gig, and it's just of course a knockoff, which is not surprising at all. All right, so flipping it over, you can see we have our board here with a ribbon cable to the screen. And you can see our start and select and menu button and the volume buttons all use little clicky switches. And the rest of the buttons use the pads like a normal controller. And these are, I guess, just custom fitted little pads here, which is interesting. Like, why custom make any of this stuff? I don't quite understand. And I will point out that while these look like the exact analog sticks used on the Switch, which I believe they are, it's not the exact same assembly because the Switch uses a ribbon cable, whereas this is just soldered straight to the board. So I guess they custom made these analog sticks for this specific device as well, which is, again, very strange, but you do you, I guess. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.
Number 1.
I bought a few suspiciously cheap Nintendo Switch consoles, you know, anything from a $24 Switch from China to a Zelda Switch that was sold for $100 off. And in this video, we're gonna test them out and see if we got scammed. Now here's the thing, I recently bought a cheap brand new Xbox from China, but it was actually opened and then resealed, so hopefully we don't get screwed like that today. But guys, let's start with this $24 Switch. Wait, hold on. Okay, so first of all, there's two in here. It's called a Game Magic, and oh my goodness, what is this? Yo, it even uses like the Switch logo to say Magic up there. It's got the detachable Joy-Cons. What is going on? Because I don't know, maybe this thing is totally legit and, oh, nope, it's... Bro, what? Okay, I just dumped out a bunch of random stuff like a wrist strap. Our battery is just loose in here, along with more batteries. What? Yeah, I'm definitely confused here, but let's see what's inside of this little thing, and oh my goodness, this is insane. Just look at it. We got both Joy-Cons here. We got a yellow one and a green one. We have two sets of D-pads, two sets of X, Y, A, and B buttons, also two sets of the start and select buttons. And the screen itself, like with the bezels and everything, just looks very similar to an original Switch. Like, they did a great job here. Let's go ahead and actually compare it to an original Switch. And as you can see, they both have huge bezels, and of course the D-pads are matching up with the joysticks right here, and then these buttons are matching up with these buttons. Start and select aren't quite in the right spot, but that's whatever. Let's go ahead and flip it over to the bottom, I guess. We have a headphone jack. That's kind of cool. And then on the top here, we have, I guess, a volume rocker potentially. Got an on and off switch, charging port, and an AV out. Flipping to the back, oh my goodness. Okay, so first of all, there's a battery compartment there, and I'm not quite sure. Oh, wait, hold on. I bet these batteries go in the Joy-Cons, and then the rechargeable one probably goes in the middle here, which is just kind of janky, and oh my goodness, we have a kickstand? No way, dude, look at this. Yo, we got a kickstand on the fake Nintendo Switch. Now the real question is, do these Joy-Cons detach? And we actually have a button there. No way. No way, these things actually detach? That's sick. This is so goofy. Now I hope there's a screen protector on the screen because it's really scratched up by default. Oh, there it is, nice. Oh no! But guys, I guess let's go ahead and throw some batteries in this bad boy and see if it even works. Let's go ahead and see if this bad boy turns on. 3, 2, 1. There is no way, dude. The funny thing is, this is not even as sketchy as the next console we're gonna see in this video, because it's like, you'll see in a minute, but it's something sketchy about it. Let's go ahead and explore this Game Magic first, though. So we have Adventure, Classic, Action, Fighting, Puzzle, and Shooter. And this could be one of the worst interfaces I've ever seen, but we'll stick with it for now. So let's click on Adventure. Wow, so you open it up, and it looks like a bunch of NES games. Dude, are we really doing this today? Oh my goodness. And also, some of these are repeats, of course, because look, number 33 is the same as number 41. Nice. We do have Super Mario Bros. Though, so let's boot that up and see if it works. Do. This thing let me select 2-player, but I can't control the second player because there's only one set of controls here. That's awesome. Also, just realized there's no triggers in this thing, which don't need it for NES games, but yeah, they're just missing those. But next up, I want to try out some Classic here, see what shows up on this one. We got Aladdin, Dr. Mario. It's just like it's just a mix of random games. You would think under Classic they would show Super Mario Bros. Because like it's objectively a classic, but instead we have Water Pipe and Box World. All right, and Nuts Milk.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
Yeah, that's a real game. All right. Yeah, let's go back. Under Action, we got some Turtles, we got some Castlevania, and I've seen Batman about 3 times at this point. There it is to 21, 26, 9, and 35. Nice. So just a bunch of repeats. Great. But guys, I'm really curious if you can take these Joy-Cons off and still play. Like, are they actually wireless? It looks like they are, because I don't see any kind of connection here on the sides of the Joy-Cons. Let's try it out, and yeah, sure enough, wow, it's actually pretty cool. Wait, did it just, I took it off. Is this actually 2-player, like a real Joy-Con? You can see my Joy-Con is side to side now and going up and down. Then if I slide it back on, it swaps it to, yo, I can't believe they actually built that functionality in. That's actually sick. Does that mean this thing is actually 2-player? Let me go back. We're gonna try out Super Mario Bros. Again, and we're gonna try out 2-player. All right, so player number 1 dies. Now we'll see if player number 2 works on this remote here. No way. Yo, on this little cheap piece of junk, they actually got the Joy-Con functionality to work. That my mind is blown right now. That just took it to a whole nother level, that this thing actually like works and functions like real Joy-Cons. And listen to the snap here. Like that's not bad, man. Now this thing is like comically thick. Like look how thick that thing is. It's like 3 times as thick as the regular Switch. But you know, it is what it is. Let's go ahead and see if we can try this AV out functionality and see if that actually works. And it's gone on the screen, but I don't see a display on my TV. Well, cool idea, but it doesn't work. Now I am curious what's in this other box, because for some reason I have 2 of them. So let's go ahead and see. And oh my goodness, out of the box, we have a bloated battery. That's not good. And oh, this one's actually got the real red and blue here. That's cool. Same back, it's got the same, you know, sliding Joy-Cons. These are a little bit tighter. But yeah, this is absurd. Now let's move on to our next Switch console, which I think could be more absurd. Let's see. So here in this package is a Zelda Switch I bought for $160 off of eBay, which is really cheap. Like I'll throw some examples on the screen, but usually a Zelda Switch from eBay, it's an OLED and it goes for like $260 plus. So something sketchy is going on here and I couldn't quite tell from the photos, and also the box is really small. So yeah, let's see what's inside. And that's a bad start. They used the free packaging inside of this outer wrapping, which is a big no-no from the postal office. Finally got it open. We have, okay, so we have 2 Joy-Cons here from the Zelda Switch, and I'm trying to see if these things are legit. I think it's real, maybe. We'll take a closer look at the other one as well. Yeah, I think this one's okay. It looks, it's got the green design here in the front, and it's gold, and then white on the back, and the Nintendo logo looks pretty normal, so I think the Joy-Cons at least are normal Switch Joy-Cons. Now the console itself will be the real question here, and from the front, oh no. Oh, wait, what? It's not an OLED. What? Yeah, so comparing here, you can see this is a normal Switch and this is a normal Switch as well, and you can see the bezels are basically the same on the screens there. And on an OLED console, which is what we should have with the Zelda Switch, the screen goes pretty much out to the edges here. But guys, let's go ahead and flip this thing over because I feel something on the back. Let me see what the, wait, what? I could have sworn this is not a Zelda Switch because it's not an OLED, but we have a case here that looks like the Zelda Switch. Is this legit? Let me look up a photo. No, so the normal Zelda OLED Switch has kind of some cool designs on the back, but actually this one's better. This one looks cooler. It's got the gold and black accents, and I'm not sure where this is from. Is this a third-party case? I'm not quite sure, but let's go ahead and yeah, let me just take a closer look and inspect this thing a bit more. Oh wait, our serial number is gone off the bottom. That's kind of sketch. Let me see if there's an SD card. Oh boy. Oh man, I try to flip the this little bad boy up and it just pops straight out. That's not ideal. Let's go ahead and try to, I guess, turn it on and see if it turns on. All right guys, console's plugged in and I think it charged up and turned itself on. Let's go ahead and see if it actually is turned on, and yep, there it is. Nice. I also saw some sketchiness with the Joy-Con there. What just happened? Okay, it's actually clicked in now. Let's go ahead and try to boot this thing up and see if it actually works. And wait, what? Yo, we got stuff downloaded here? And wait, hold on. Oh no, the Joy-Con is jacked up so bad. Wait, now it's working. It just wasn't reacting for a second. What the heck? We'll ignore that. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, stop now. You saw that icon down in the corner, right? Where it just like, oh no, I'm flexing it a little bit and it's going away. Oh, I'll just pull these off for now and use them like so I can actually use them. But yeah, like I mentioned, there is a bunch a bunch of stuff downloaded here. We have, you know, Fortnite, YouTube, Super Smash Bros. Actually, we need a game for that. Then we need the game cartridge for this one as well. But we got some profiles, Sophie's page, Z Fighter's page, and Dartiganan's page. I said that wrong, but whatever. Let me see if I can check out the news and see the last time this thing was played, if there's any dates here. 1/23/2024, so it was used over a year ago, which I guess is not too terribly surprising. And oh, check out the album. I bet there's some screenshots here, hopefully. Yeah, there we go, dude. We have about 1 million screenshots of the homepage. What? Now, I am really curious about the Joy-Cons here and if they have stick drift, which they probably do based on what I've tested so far. Let's see. I mean, from the test here, it looks fine. I don't know if that's 100% accurate for all kinds of stick drift, but yeah, that's good enough, I'd say, for now. Wow, right stick is good as well. Okay, that's honestly surprising. But let's go ahead and, I guess, sign into the internet here, and I wonder if I can actually use any of this stuff, this person's profile, and like play their old games or something. Let's see. Oh, also, I just noticed I was about to put this Joy-Con back on the rail. There's a pretty nasty like dent or some warping there on the side, which like could explain some of the Joy-Con issues. Also, the Joy-Con rails are just like disgusting. Like what happened here? I've had a couple Switches that I've used for years, and like I never abused them or used them really hard, but like mine don't look anything like this. What do people do to their consoles, man? The right Joy-Con is having issues as well. You can see it's not showing up there on the icon there, but like it's clearly clicked in. Both of the rails are just garbage in this thing. Oh, stinks too. But guys, let's go ahead and throw a game inside of this thing because I'm not confident at all in this thing's ability to read games. We'll see. I don't think I've ever actually used a Switch that couldn't read games. And nope, yeah, there it is. Cool. Loads up. Let's go ahead and see if it starts. Yeah, cool, we're good there. It's booting up and working. So this console is very jank. Like on one hand, it's kind of cool because of the Joy-Cons and honestly, the Switch looks cool, but it clearly was put together very jankily. That's not a word, but I'm gonna use it as a word. Hey guys, here I have a Switch from Goodwill, and it was honestly pretty cheap, and the photos were, I can't even explain them. Well, let's go ahead and see what's inside. All right, guys, I'm pulling this thing out. We have our Switch, which is just covered in styrofoam on the back. Nice. There's literally styrofoam stuck in the triggers. That's, oh man, that sucks. I'll fix that later, but at first glance, the Switch is actually in pretty good condition, which didn't quite match the photos. I'm not really sure what they sent me here. Like all the buttons are clicking just fine, except for, of course, the one with the styrofoam in it. You got your little kickstand here on the back, or at least a little crappy kickstand. Let's see if that works. And there's no micro SD card there, and Joy-Cons, yeah, they slide off without an issue. And left one as well. Okay, let's go ahead and see if this thing has any charge to it. All right, guys, console has been charged up for a little bit, and I think it's on now. Yep, there it is. Cool. Let's go ahead and hope this is better than the last console. And wow, yeah, there's just nothing here, so I guess it was factory reset. Let me start by checking out the, console nickname is One's Switch. Nice. Update is on 15.0.1. Let me see that when that update is from. Oh, that's from 2 whole years ago. Nice. Hasn't been updated in quite a long time. Doesn't really matter, to be honest, but let's go ahead and check out our controllers here, or excuse me, my Joy-Cons, and see if these control sticks have any kind of drift. Yeah, it looks fine on here. It's not noticeable, at least in the calibration of the control sticks. Let's go ahead and toss a game inside of this bad boy, though, and see if it reads. And also, I forgot our, yeah, that stuff is still in there. Let me get that out before I forget, and it goes all the way inside. Turn me up, boy. One piece out. 1 piece! Oh, we got it. Let's go. Thank goodness, that was so jank of Goodwill to do. Oh. But yeah, surprisingly, this Switch from, untested Switch from Goodwill ended up being the best Switch of the lot. The other two were extremely jank for obvious reasons. Now you probably know the original fat PS2 has a disk drive that just slides out, and then the PS2 Slim has a top-loading disk drive that pops open. But did you know there's also a fat PS2 that has a top-loading disk drive? Well, apparently there is, so I bought it, and in this video, we're gonna test it out and see what kind of really cool and frankly, really sketchy things it can do. We have quite the packaging here, and oh my goodness, this thing is insane. Let's pull it out and take a closer look. All right, now first of all, I didn't realize quite how dirty this thing was from the eBay photos. I guess to be fair, the eBay photos are really bad, but you can see we have, oh dude, we actually got bugs up here. You gotta be kidding me. And then we have this really cool blue shell, but it's just scratched up to oblivion. But other than that, the front looks pretty normal, except for the fact the whole disk drive piece is missing there. And then flipping to the bottom is clearly just a blue see-through, and that's just, it's so cool to see through stuff. I don't know, man, just the whole like 90s aesthetic here. We even have the network adapter here on the back, which actually, let me go ahead and take that off and see if there's anything secret hidden inside. Yeah, nothing in there except just loads of dirt and dust and grime. Now guys, the main elephant in the room here on this console is the fact that this thing is a top loader PS2. Just look at that thing. You can sure enough see that it's just carved out here on the top, and I think you press this button and it'll just pop open. Yep, just like so. And that's strange because usually a fat PS2 disk drive just kind of slides out and slides back in. And it's basically like morphing a PS2 Slim, which, you know, pops open like so, into a fat PS2. So just very strange stuff, and apparently allows you to play other regions of games and backup games, which we'll test out later. But let's go ahead and, yeah, let's move on. Now, I also bought another one of these top loaders here, so we have 2 of them. I just want to see if there's a difference physically and if it works differently, but you can see this one is actually in much better condition for the most part. Still pretty dirty, but not nearly as bad as the last one. But let's go ahead and I guess start with the blue one, plug it in, and just see how it functions. All right, guys, console is plugged in. Let's go ahead and turn it on and see what this thing can do and see how it works. So first, you can't really see the power light. You can only see it on top, but not through the button on the front, which is kind of strange. Let's go ahead and see if it turns on. There it is. So you can see the green and blue there now, which is nice. And obviously, the first thing I want to test is just if the normal drive function works. Yeah, it comes out very slowly, but it does. Oh, now it's pulling itself back in. But yeah, that does function. And then you close it up, press this little button here, and kind of pull up, and yeah, you can just swap a game inside. It's got a pretty satisfying click to it though, because it's got a magnet down there, so it kind of clicks in, and then you click it all the way in, and yeah, that's kind of nice. But let's go ahead and start by testing a normal PS2 game, so just MX versus ATV Unleashed. This is an NTSC game, which this should be an NTSC console. Honestly, I'm concerned that this console might not even read games because this thing is in horrible condition. Like, it's supposed to be working, but we'll see. I guess I should not have doubted it because it's working perfectly fine. And now, guys, next up, I want to test out something that's, Yeah, don't try this at home, but let's see what happens. We're gonna pop this disk drive open as it's running. This is not a good idea, but I'm really curious what happens. Oh, yeah, okay, so, oh gosh. Yep, that's not a good idea. And what's sketchy there is the disk drive keeps spinning because it doesn't know it's open because like there's been no trigger. Like the difference is if you press the button down here, the console knows the disk is ejected and it shouldn't be playing anymore. But when you just pull up the top, it just has, it doesn't trigger anything, which is kind of the secret here, and that's why cool things can be done. But next up, I want to try something else here. So I have a Japanese PS2 game, and natively you can't play Japanese PS2 games on an American PS2. Oh, let me just show you this. Yeah, so Japanese game in there, it did spin up, but now it's got the red screen of death, which we never want to see on the PS2. So that's what happens on a normal PS2, but I have a trick up my sleeve here. So we have these Swap Magic 3 coder discs here. The DVD version is for the PS2, and I believe this one right here is for the PS1. And I think what happens is you pop one of these in, and then it lets you swap the game like while you're playing. Oh yeah, that looks funky. Let's go ahead and throw one inside though and just see what it does. Okay, so it does read the Swap Magic disc. Let's go ahead and boot that up. We're booted up into this disc now, and it says, what is this? Normal, special, SM boot, cheat menu. I guess we'll try normal and just see what that does to start with. Okay, so now we're back to the game. I think this is where I swap in my other games. So let's go ahead and pop this bad boy open, put it to the side. Then we'll just let's start with a normal game here. So I'll pop in our NTSC version of MX vs. ATV Unleashed, clamp it down. We'll press normal here, default, and let's see if it boots. Okay, that's not quite what I expected. Let me actually try an import game here. Maybe this doesn't function properly if you use just a regular US game. So we'll go ahead and try our Japanese game. Ah, wait, I just realized this Japanese game is actually a compact disc, so we need to use the other version of our Magic, Swap Magic here. So let me try this one more time. We'll try our Swap Magic game. All right, back to this menu. We'll go ahead and pop the game out here, or the Swap Magic, and then put our Japanese game in. Nope. All right, let's try the other PS2. Oh, wow, and the clock battery is actually good on this other PS2. I gotta say, this one's actually in really nice condition. Props to this seller. No props to this seller over here, because that thing's garbage. But let's go ahead and see if the game loads up. Yo, it's going. Huh. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, baby, this is why I bought 2 PS2s. I didn't trust that seller, man. I got 2 of them, just in case. Well, I might have spoken too soon, because now the game is just, it's frozen. This thing was pretty slow to load up the blue back disc games here, so let's go ahead and try out just a normal PS2 game. Now back to this screen, we'll go ahead and pop the top loader back open, and I will say the other one is a little bit nicer. Like this one kind of falls around. It doesn't have the nice little button right there, whereas this one over here has the button. It releases, it pops up, and it actually stays right there. So this thing is a little bit nicer in terms of that functionality, but at least this one over here works. So we'll pull the disc out. And I actually have a PAL PS2 game to try out here, so it's a European game. Let's go ahead and pop this inside and see if that works. Press normal and default again. Sure enough, it boots right up. It's actually sick that somebody came up with the idea of creating a custom case with a top loader disk drive for a fat PS2. Just like mind-blowing. But this thing's been around for probably 15 or 20 years at this point. And yeah, this one actually is loading up and working. So this one, the silver discs work better than the blue discs, which is honestly pretty common for PS2s to just stop reading blue discs or get really slow. Kind of unfortunate. Oh, dude, that scared me for a second. I saw the red background. I thought it was the red screen of death, but no, it's just part of the game. Yeah, that's so sick. Now let me just show you. Let me just verify on this PS2 that when you play a PAL game by default, it doesn't work. Yep. So trying to play the PAL game without the Swap Magic disc, you get the red screen of death. So great. Now next up, guys, I got something really interesting I want to try. So we'll go ahead and pop the Magic disc back in, and I actually have this totally legit copy of Capcom Classics Collection. Let me actually just let you compare. So here on the right side is the real game. On the left side is obviously not real. As you can see, the text is just wrong, and the whole thing is just wrong. And looking at the back, you can clearly see the data was burned on the disc, and then the outside portion is just has nothing on it. But I think the Swap Magic disc allows us to play these type of games. So let's go ahead and try to swap it. So pull the Swap Magic disc out. We'll put the totally legit game inside. Yo, I can't believe this is actually working. Let's go. By the way, this game came in just like I bought a random lot of games, I think a couple years ago, and this was in there. It was honestly very surprising, but it's just awesome to kind of have this sitting around. And yep, sure enough, it works perfectly fine. This is awesome. I died like 10 seconds in. Let's go back to the main menu though, and I want to just verify real quick this game won't work on its own. So we'll go ahead and restart the console, and now it'll just try to read it up without the Swap Magic disc. We'll see what happens. I'm really hoping it'll tell me it's like contacting the police or something, because I have a totally legit game. And yep, there it is, red screen of death again. So this thing, it works. It's awesome. Now let's try something else here. So let's go ahead and put the Swap Magic disc in, and I'll kind of explain the situation. So back on the screen, and normally we would pop the top loader open like so, and then swap the disc, but I'm curious what happens when we just press the eject button. I'm assuming it'll just kick us back to the main menu, because basically at this point the PS2 knows that we opened the disk drive, and it's gonna give us some big no-nos, I would assume. Or maybe it'll just keep working. Okay, yeah, so as we suspected, it goes to a red screen of death because we ejected the game and put it in there instead of using the top loader. Now we do still have some more stuff to test, and next up we have this little Swap Magic slide tool that should allow you to swap discs without even using the top loader here. So let's go ahead and try this. Let me just kind of show you how it's supposed to work. So we're back on the blue PS2. We have the Swap Magic disc booted up here. And also, by the way, the reason I'm using the slide tool on this console over here is because you actually need to take the disk drive off, or the disk drive cover off, to use it. Whereas over here, you can't actually slide it in with the disk drive cover on. So that's why I'm using it on the blue console instead of the black one. And let's see if we can get this tool to work. So I think you slide it in like so, and then push it to the right side, I think. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so you probably missed it there, but I pushed it and the disc lowered a little bit, and now I think I can pull it out. Oh, there we go. I pushed it all the way. Oh, there it goes. Okay, I got it coming out now. And now we'll swap back in our totally legit game and push this thing back in. Yeah, it's back in now. Let's go ahead and press this. Okay, maybe it's not all the way back in. That's not ideal. All right, so slide it in again, all the way to the right, pull it out. And I think what I have to do now is put that thing back in there and pull it back to the left. Oh yeah, there we go. You can see the disc just lifted back up. Nice. And now let's try it out again. Yeah, so that did not work, but I think it's just an issue with this PS2. I'm not sure what the deal is, but it keeps kicking me back to the main screen whenever I put a new disc in. Not quite sure, but doesn't work as intended. At least this one does. Now, guys, there are still some more things I want to try here. So we have the disc booted back up into the working PS2, and I want to try this cheat menu here. So we come on here. Oh yeah, we got cheats for a ton of games. So a bunch of Japanese games, also a bunch of PAL games, as you can see, and then a ton of USA games as well. Ah, nice. So we do have some cheats for the PAL version of Star Wars Jedi Starfighter, which is the game we have right here. Let's go ahead and click on that, and we'll see what it loads up. Oh, actually, if you go to the right, you can see all the cheats enabled here. So it's basically like the entire game is completed, it looks like. So we'll go ahead and select that, press start, and I think the game should boot up here. What is special? I don't know what special is, but let's I don't want to do that. Oh, I guess it's doing it anyway. All right, we'll see if this works. All right, well, now the cheats are freezing the console. The first time I tried it, it just froze when I was trying to load the mission. So I tried it with a memory card to see if that would make a difference. And now it's just frozen on the memory card, which is just great. So I tried a third time and frozen again here. So the cheats thing is cool, but I guess it has an issue with this game. Not quite sure, but cool idea. And I wanted to mention that on the PS2 Slim, you can't do this process natively, even though you might think you can because you can pop the disk drive open like this. But basically when you pop it open, the PS2 Slim is notified that the disk drive is open by like a sensor back here. So this kit I bought actually includes a bunch of little pieces you can install in the PS2 Slim to basically render that sensor useless, I guess. And then you can swap games in and out with the magic swap tool and that sort of thing. So I don't know, just cool stuff. Now, one other feature to mention here is the launch SMB boot option, which basically I believe lets you put in a flash drive or a hard drive and boot stuff off of there. But in general, this kind of brings us back to the fact that this top loader thing is not really a mechanism people use anymore, because you can just pretty easily mod your PS2 and load up all your stuff on a hard drive or a memory card. But me personally, I think this is cooler because it's hardware rather than booting everything through software. But guys, let me know down below what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Now, thanks for watching this full compilation, and guys, let me know down below, comment below, and let me know what your favorite knockoff console of this year was. I'm curious because there are a lot of good ones. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, go check out this compilation here and just spend some hours on good content, man. You'll like it. I'll see you there.